Welcome, clobberers, clobberettes, and clobberoids to Clobbering Times, Clubby's Clubhouse number, whatever clubhouse number it is.
42.
Infinity 42. And beyond.
The answer, and that too. The answer, it is 42. The life.
The meaning of life, the universe, and everything.
There we go. I always forget the
42.
But what's the question?
It's Clobbering Times 400 and 404 on YouTube and 1,104 overall. But of course, it's Clobby's Clubhouse 42. So, and it's good to see you all here tonight. Hey. I am Clobby, and I'm joined by the greatest first officer in the fleet, the wonderful, the beautiful, the talented, magnificent RM RAQUEL Briz. Take a bow, Commander.
Hi, I love you. I missed you. And I'm looking forward to visiting with you tonight. And, you know, it's pretty darn easy to be a decent XO when you have a captain like I have. I love you. You're the greatest.
Love you.
Looking forward to tonight.
Thank you so much. Glad to see you. I've missed you as well. And our old pal, the great Mark D with the C, the chief engineer. Thanks for hanging out with me last night. The other night.
Yeah.
Always good to hang out with the gang. Yep. So
here at the clubhouse.
Was
and thank you for that gift today. You sent me late last night. That was really nice of you.
Oh, you're welcome. Yep.
I really appreciate it. You're a very thoughtful and loyal and good friend. And I just wanted to let you know on air how much I appreciate what a great friend you are. Thanks, bud.
Dittos. Same.
Thanks, man.
A few
you're welcome. Yep.
Quick show notes, of course. It is absolutely for the entire month. It is Jack Kirby month. And even when we do other topics or whatever, Jack Kirby will never be far from us. He will, of course, I will celebrate him all month. I've got a lot of different things planned, a lot of different things to plan yet. But I'll be celebrating as I do all the time, and always, as far as I can remember, as long as I can remember, every August I've been doing that. As long as I've done a show, of course, I've been doing a show since about 13 years now, so it wasn't quite initially, but I don't know how long, 10 years or however I've been doing Jack Kirby month. So here we are again, celebrate the king of comics, the reason there is a Clobby, and he is that reason. So got a lot of stuff planned for that. And tonight we have other topics and stuff, but even later I'll have some Kirby. I promise that. And I get to torture Hungry Boy with some tripwire. Sorry, buddy. Let's see here. Show notes before we get started saying our hellos. Other show notes, that is. Tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Central Standard Time, I'll be on with my buddy Stone Loki's channel, Loki's Mornings of Mischief, to review the season finale of the Orville with the gang there, Dave, Bob, and Arwen, and hopefully Speaker of the Dead if he shows up, and of course the great Loki himself. And then tomorrow night, I'll be on with my good buddy, 32 Flavors of Nick Weiser on his channel. We had a lot of fun. D-Bud was there with us too, reviewing the mid-70s Bronze Age classic Nova, The Man Called Nova, and we're going to do it. We did it last week, this week, and next week. We're going to have 3 weeks of reviewing that comic with Pablo and Ironcaster also, and of course Nicholas. And really enjoyed that last week. So that's Nick's Comic Shop Talk. I believe it will be 8:30 p.m. Tomorrow night, post-meridian on Friday night. Yes, so some Friday night Comic Shop Talk for that. And then Saturday night, as always, same Trek time, same Clobby channel. Saturday night Star Trek continues with its ongoing mission, this time to review all of Star Trek Deep Space Nine. We have 4 more episodes to indeedishness. And then next Monday, it'll definitely be Kirby all the time. I just don't know exactly what yet. And eventually, sometime this month, the great Mark D and I will review the greatest Jack Kirby comic of all time.
Yeah.
Fantastic Four, number 51. My favorite issue.
Oh, really?
This man, this monster. It's my favorite issue. It's probably my favorite single issue of a Jack Kirby comic of them all.
Wicked.
And I love it. Of course, I'm sure you recognize that picture from a certain poster that a couple of naughty people sent me.
Yep. Love to enable.
Yes.
Yeah. And yes.
And you must receive.
I
hate it.
We gang up on you. It's our job. We're your friends.
I'm more of a linebacker than a receiver, but okay. Although I like play defensive end, really, to be honest. But I should play tight end for a while. That was good. I wanted to be a tight end, and I never could catch well, so I ended up being defense and offensive line. Anyways, all right. So let's see here. Let's say some hellos to our wonderful friends who are with us tonight. Of course, the great J-Man. J-Man's here.
J-Man, Jason.
A great
Hey,
channel
J-Man.
in its own right. And he and his great buddies Sean and Steven, they do a wonderful channel over there. Please
Great
go
stuff.
check it out. He's an author, and he's just a good buddy who has reviewed comics with me, including this past Monday night. What a great time we had, buddy, reviewing Batman number 321. And we've already set up to, when the Jack Kirby month is over, we've got another classic DC comic that we're just going to, a random one. We've already got it set up for that. But I might get him to review a Kirby comic with me, too. I want to get at least a couple of Kirby comic reviews in.
Oh, nice.
In addition to all the other Kirby festivities. So we're going to look into that. Gwagnar is here. What's up, buddy?
Gwagnar.
Good to see you. I love how she says that. Don't ever stop showing up, Gwagnar, because I can't get enough of that. Mark Lurseth. Hey there.
Hey, Mark.
Welcome. Kal-El, buddy. What is up?
Soup.
Real Soups. What is up with your bad self, sir? Good to see you. The great Chris Persia. Thank you so much for all you do, buddy, and just great to see you, man. Great to see you. Let's see here. Who else we got? The great Eric K, the Rinser of Bronze, the Bronze Rinser himself. Good to see you there,
Love
brother.
you.
I
hope you're feeling better, honey. I know you weren't
Absolutely.
feeling well on Saturday.
Yeah.
Last Saturday, so I hope you're on the mend, sweetheart.
I hope so. I hope you're feeling better, buddy. The great Hungry for Brevity Lost. Is that I said it right? Lost. Wow. You're the man, Hungry Boy. It's good to see you, buddy.
Also, the official artist of my
So,
science fiction collection. Dun, 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 dun.
If you'll let me, I'll call him the official artist of CLOBBERIN Times, but that's up to him.
Yes, let's do it.
I've nominated him for it, but he has to approve, obviously.
Oh, I think he would approve. Let's ask. Hungry Boy, do you approve, honey? Can you please be the official artist of CLOBBERIN Times?
I hope so. But he says, by the way, doesn't mean you have to do any work, by the way. When we're not trying to bum work off of you, just saying since you did the club on it,
Yeah.
By the way, was my psychic prediction a la Tripwire correct? I must now. Well, there is one. There's an entry this week. They didn't wise up and stop doing it, so they're gonna get some beat down. Actually, again, we'll get to it later. Maddie's daddy, Steve mentioned, dude, I hope you're feeling better, buddy.
Yeah.
He says Maddie's out of the woods now, feeling better, which is
Good.
great. That's what he was saying in it last night. But dude, I hope you, sir, are feeling better, my brother.
Yeah. And he keeps getting sick, and it's really upsetting. So,
yeah. He's a busy man. He works with a lot of people and around a lot of people and stuff, and things go around, I guess.
Yeah.
Just not good luck.
Yeah. I'm just
Tough to
glad that
be,
Maddie's out of the woods and that he's on the mend. And just take good care of yourself, Steve Mitchum. We all love you around here, and we're all thinking of you.
Stick to Asgard for a while. Don't travel the other 9
Right.
realms. Yeah.
Stay in Asgard.
Asgard Vegas.
Vegas.
I think we got everybody so far. I'll just say that anyone out there, and I don't do this enough, and I'm trying to form it into a habit. Anyone listening on a rewatch later, or anyone who's just lurking, please accept my gratitude. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for being here. You're too kind. And thank you. It's just, we love having you here. I used to forget to say that all the time. It only took 2 years for me to try to start working it into a habit, because it is very much appreciated.
Yes. Sometimes our friends can show up, and sometimes they have to work, or sometimes they're too tired to participate in the chat, or maybe they're just somebody who likes to lurk. But we know you're there, and we appreciate your patronage. We appreciate you supporting this channel, and we're waving hello to you. At this time, I just wish to remind everyone that they can sub to this channel, and they can hit that notification bell, and then they'll know whenever Clobby is on. Also, if you're out on the socials and you know how to share a URL, would you please share this stream? and out on the Twitter and Facebook and any other social media you might use, Clobby could sure use the eyeballs.
Thank you, Double C. Good to see you there. By the way, I officially announced right now, because we were talking about this earlier before the show started, that 1 week from today I will start my memberships. So it's for the channel membership.
Yay!
To start. That will
Take
be
my money.
The 11th, except Mark D is not allowed to join. Nor,
What do you mean I can't join?
Nor is Raquel. Nor is Steve. Nor is Hungerway. None of you are allowed to join. Just me.
Okay, don't listen to him, folks.
Okay. There's going to be one special tier, though. There's a special tier it's actually I pay you $1.
No.
You have to be well. Wait a minute. There's one requirement. You have to be Christina Hendricks, or look exactly like her.
Don't listen to him. Just don't listen to him. We're
and
looking
look,
forward to having subs. Completely ignore him. Only pay attention. Pay attention to my voice.
I think that's a good tier.
I want you to sub because this is his virtual comic book shop. And he's retired, and he's a cutie patootie. He's also a subject matter expert. I call him the grand poobah of all geeks. He provides wonderful shows, great content. He brings lots of wonderful people together to talk about topics that you can't watch on television, that you can't see on television. And so, it's important to support Clobby. So please ignore everything he says about his subscriptions and about sending him super chats. Please help keep the lights on in his virtual comic book shop because we love him. This is your XO signing off.
I'm just saying there's a special tier that only Christina Hendricks can join, or if you can prove that you look exactly like her and always have it, and you're actually
that's going to take me a lot of plastic
proof
surgery.
on file that you are a woman. And hello there, Grim. Good to see you, Grim. Welcome. I like that name.
Hey,
Add another
Grim.
M, and it's me.
Hey, Grim.
But so again, it's now there are going to be some special, obviously a lot of perks for that level. Like I'll be glad to go wherever she wants me to go, to her place, mine, whatever. Meet up with her.
You said she wants to learn all about comic books, especially FF51.
Yes, I think she does. She wants to learn about it. So but like I said, you can look like a version of her from 2002, 2012. That will work. I may make some allowances. That's probably kind of restrictive, only having one person. So you could look like 2010 Scarlett Johansson, and that's free perk for that as well. Betty Page not only gets it free. I mean, I'll probably sacrifice one of you on an altar or something. But she has to look like 1955 Betty Page. I mean, come on, we have to have her anyway. Sorry.
What about if you look like the Rocketeer? No, that doesn't
That
help.
doesn't count. Well, I'll let you join for like 50 cents because the Rocketeer is pretty cool. But I don't want to. You don't get any perks or anything. I mean,
no perks.
That's Billy Campbell. I mean, nothing against him. It's just not my type. So yeah, that's. And if you are also, there's like a freebie. If you're a fictional character called the Thing who actually comes into existence in the real world and can prove it, then you might get a.
Okay.
Other than that, it'll be everybody else. So, also, there's the billionaire. If you happen to be a billionaire, you're not allowed to join the $1 level or $2 level, whatever it is. It's going to cost you a minimum of like $2 million a month.
Is that the Dr. Doom
right? We have to
level.
If you're a billionaire, the Dr. Doom level. Thank you. If you're a billionaire, I'm going to make you a deal. It's $2 million a month is what it'll cost you. I think that's reasonable. I don't know about you.
Well, that big lotto, the joke going around was the IRS was the big winner because the winner got 464 million. The IRS got like 840 million. Yeah.
Still,
I saw that. That's weird.
Yeah, but I think they can get by on the 4.
They might be able
I think they can make ends meet. It'll be tight now. But
it's a lump sum tax payment. So
that's
taxed at 38%.
Hungry Boy, my heart couldn't take it if she was 1965 Sophia Loren. Are you kidding me? I mean, hamana. If you're just a millionaire, he says, "Oh no, just in the flat rate of $100,000." Well, just kidding, $50,000.
Hey, Wendy Webb's here, boss.
Wendy Webb, hey there.
Hey, Wendy Webb.
Bet you Jimmy's here too.
I hope. Well, hello to Jimmy. Hope he's doing well. So the first thing I hear is Betty Page and sacrificing on an altar. Well, don't worry. I won't sacrifice Betty Page on an altar. Oh, yeah. Look at my girl, Courtney. What is up?
Hey, Courtney.
Hey there. Good to see you.
That's right, Jason. In
No
Canada,
cats.
we keep all the winnings.
Well, when are you going to win the damn thing, Jason, and throw me some cheese down here, bud? Jeez.
Yes, please.
You're just telling me if you win $1 million, you don't have to pay anything in
$1
taxes?
million. No,
Well, we already pay
that's
tax
not-
on everything else.
They don't. You don't have a lottery though, do you?
Yes, we do. And
do?
we're also allowed to participate in your lottery.
Real? Oh,
Well, you'd have to pay taxes on our lottery.
on
though.
it.
Yeah,
have
we
to
have
pay
to pay
taxes on
American
this.
tax. We have to
Oh,
pay the
that's what-
taxes for
which
the
again-
on the American side, but not here.
Exactly. Which
I don't
means
think,
that
at least. I don't know.
no, not there, but you'd have to pay American one. So the person who won like the 1.1 billion thingy or whatever, like you said, what Mark ended up with like 4 something. My
Yeah,
ass paid for 'em.
464. Yeah, something
Oh,
like
poor
that.
thing.
Yeah. Yep. That's a tough world.
For spending
Boo-hoo.
all
Government's
that-
very happy. That's
I
why
hope
they
they can
call
get
a lottery a
hope they can
regressive
get by.
tax. Yeah.
See, I buy a ticket, but I mean, I do buy a ticket, but I'd be the worst lottery winner ever because I'd be giving too much of it away, and everyone yelling at me like, "Stop! You can't give it to everybody." Why? I mean, I'm keeping enough for me, but I want to give things to people, and that's not how it works.
I
You're
think
not
that
supposed
would
to do
be me as well. I think I would pay off all my bills, make sure that my house was paid off, take a little trip, and
Oh.
then I'd spread the money around, I think.
Well, I'd have me some fun. Don't get me wrong. I'm gonna keep plenty for me. I'm just saying, I would have as much fun like giving it to a bunch of people. Like,
I'd buy a
that I
comic
care
book
about.
shop.
I might. Buy a
Yeah,
comic.
Chris,
Even I might
the interest is taxable. Yeah, absolutely. And then after, when you're spending it, you also pay more taxes. So it's really not a good thing, is it, Chris? Being Canadian. Speaking of lotto, I put
That's a
something
lot
up
of
on
nerve.
my Twitter because I was appalled. I was shocked
Thanks, Steve. Thank you, buddy.
and appalled by this $90 million movie that they completely canceled,
Oh,
Batgirl.
that got
Batgirl's
canceled in a
very
good
sad.
way.
And did you see what
Shelved.
these people wrote?
What?
Like, you can definitely tell that these people have like Hollywood must be like swimming in narcissistic personality
Well,
disorder.
it is Hollywood, yeah.
When these
Yes.
people were interviewed on like their $90 million bomb that they're
Right.
never going to show to anyone, the actress who was involved in the making of this, I guess she was starring as Batgirl. I've never heard of her, but she says, and I quote here, "I'm my own damn hero." And when the
Mhm.
directors were asked for their feedback on this waste of $90 million, they responded with, "It is critical that our work be shown to audiences."
Why?
So humbled by a $90 million bomb that can
Uh,
never be shown to anyone? Definitely not.
They're
It just
trying to
didn't
save-
fit
They're
Warner
trying to
Brothers.
save audiences by not putting it on the show.
Well, I think they're trying to save their brand. But wow,
That's
like,
what I'm saying. I'm just kidding. They're doing them a favor by saying is what I mean.
oh
Okay.
yeah, for sure. But could you imagine being the actress involved with
Oh,
this,
God.
and instead of saying, oh well, maybe things just didn't work out the way that they wanted to. I'm so sorry to let everyone down. We really tried our best with this. This is a huge disappointment for one and all. I hope maybe we can fix it. No, I'm my own damn hero. And people
the
wonder
sad thing is
why
we're
people have fallen out of love with Hollywood.
She's
Uh-huh.
quoting a current Batgirl comic,
Yeah, she's quoting the stupid Antifa Batgirl comic, but yeah.
unfortunately. So not to
That's
It
another
throw
reason
more
why
sounds
this
shit.
thing-
insane. I don't
But
care if
that's
she's
current
quoting
writing.
a serial
but-
killer.
but
It sounds
Well,
nuts.
exactly.
but that's
but
the
what I'm
problem.
talking about.
That's current writing. That's current writing in the comics,
They
unfortunately.
think that's a good. They think that's actually a line people want to hear. That's what I'm saying. She's a moron, but she's a
Yeah,
child.
Leslie
though.
Grace. Yeah.
But she's a child.
Yeah, it's just very, very,
There's- see
very
my poor,
bad. Where
my
are her
poor,
handlers?
my poor Batgirl statue.
And this
is
is
bigger,
shittiest
so-
costume, by the way. The one
That's the-
from the movie. Beautiful girl, but good lord, it's. I look, yeah, they're trying to save the brand. You're exactly right. Which is, you can't blame that Zablus guy for saying this thing tested so poorly. I mean, thing's finished. Michael Keaton's in it. Brendan Fraser's in it. It's finished, and the test audiences. Can you imagine testing
Got a
that bad?
60.
That they're, I mean, maybe in a couple of years they'll put it somewhere. But can you imagine testing so bad he doesn't even want to put it on a streaming service?
Yeah, and not receiving any like zero contrition from those who are involved, like especially these directors saying it's critical that their work be shown to audiences. No, actually, it's not critical. You made a superhero movie.
You got paid.
Yeah, you got paid. You wasted, like, I would have liked to have seen that money donated to the homeless or something. I mean, it's just absolutely absurd. This is an absurd amount of money. I heard that it is actually 10 million more than this, although that hasn't been verified. So it likely could be $100 million wasted.
Well, they said that the scope of the movie did not fit Warner Brothers streaming. So I mean, which translates to it must have been a big pile of steaming.
Even
you know
the
what?
Snyder
Otherwise, they would have shown. Well, that was the old ownership, but the new ownership, they're allegedly, this is the excuse, they're quote unquote saying it. We want to pivot from streaming movies to big time, motion pictures again. But if that movie was it was decent. You're not telling me they would have not thrown that up on HBO Max if it's all basically completed.
Well, let's parse what these, as somebody who teaches English and has studied linguistics and semiotics, let's parse what these directors said. It is critical that our work be shown to audiences. And these are two people who made a superhero movie, and they're saying, that their work is tantamount to something critical of so absolutely imperative that our society see this. So I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to see the tacit transaction here, and that is that this was obviously a superhero movie that was about advocacy. It wasn't about superheroes. Otherwise, why would the adventures of a superhero be critical to society? And that's making quite a claim, isn't
really
it?
Silly.
That critical. Your superhero movie is critical to society,
well,
and you're not even sorry about the
peace.
100 million.
Well, they're going to bring about world peace, I guess, right? So
I guess it's going to change the world.
Yeah,
very narcissistic.
NPD.
I had heard that.
It's a real thing. NPD.
I mean, I could see, if you were a director, if I worked,
that's pretty bad. Good.
I mean, if I worked on a movie or had a project that got canceled, I'd just be more upset and sad. Of course, I would never. You'd be bummed out, but never say stuff like that. So,
right.
And that costume did look horrible too. I mean, I don't mind the new Batgirl costume that much in the comics, depending on who's drawn. Of course, most of the new art is so terrible that it usually looks terrible, but drawn well, it's not bad. But the way they translated it and it looked, puffy, and then she's got no form, no figure. When I go to a superhero movie, I want to, see someone cute in the costume, right? She's a gorgeous
it's not
lady.
only that, it's the fact that you can already feel the unctuousness, the greasiness in the claims being made about this show.
Oh,
I mean, look at this hyperbole, this fetid unctuousness being shown by these directors. I mean, if you did like the documentary about a girl, or not about a girl, Born a Girl, or just what's the name? I have stream brain. I can't remember the name of the documentary, but I mean, it was an expose on the 200 million murdered and missing women, girls around the world. So that's a documentary like that is critical to our society. A superhero movie?
No.
Is that critical? Where's the perspective here? Here you see these egos running out of control and using this hyperbole, and I think that people are sick of it. I think people are done with it now.
Right. That's Hollywood in a nutshell, right there. Now I hadn't heard that, but yeah, that's absolutely Hollywood. I mean, that's all of Hollywood, though. It's not surprising, but it's pretty pathetic.
Yeah. Just
so
terrible.
The actress, she was in The Heights, the musical, and that started a lot of controversy too. Over, Paulie was covering that over on his channel, over who was in that and the casting in that movie, which we won't touch on, but it's So they're
naked hubris, all the way around. I'm my own damn hero. And it is critical that our work be shown to audiences. These are people that are creating a 190 million, 100 million, whatever, superhero movie. This is our society now. Head desk, head desk, head desk.
The
It's
poor
pretty
guy
bad.
was on his honeymoon too. One of the, I guess it's brothers that are directors.
Yeah, yeah.
LRB and I can't. Sorry, pronouncing. I can't pronounce their names correctly. Not no disrespect intended, but I guess one of them was on their honeymoon, so he just said, "I'm going to try to enjoy my honeymoon now." So, and I guess they found out about it through secondhand news, I guess, or. But yeah, it must have been really a terrible movie.
This is the day the clown cried territory here, which that'll never be seen ever. So this will probably be seen at some point. But
I think this, I think it'll like in 5 years or something they'll show it. Yeah, and Cal saying the costume looked like bad cosplay. Yeah, and that.
I just kept reading that all over the place. I mean, everyone here, I do have to qualify because there might be new people here. I'm not a geek. I don't know a lot about films or making films. I don't know a lot about toys or merchandise or collectibles or comics or anything like that. I just come to this as a nerd, Star Trek nerd. But I on social media, people were saying that the visuals were terrible, that cosplayers could do a much better job. And that was like the resounding opinion. I saw it replicated everywhere.
Yes.
Well, actually, that costume was designed to make it easier for people to cosplay as Batgirl, that new costume.
That's exactly what
Chris is right. Yeah, they never really gave her too many curves. Once in a while, an artist would give her a few more curves, because actually I was buying that comic, don't tell anyone, for a while, then I canceled it because then it got
Mark.
ridiculous.
Mark,
well, because then she, they're having riots, and they said Batgirl was standing with the rioters, and and then there's some lines like, well, Batman wouldn't stop people that were rioting. It was their and of course this is the intersection of politics and comics, but like there's no way Batgirl and Batman would act like that and just let people riot and destroy things. So I just
very sad. But
yeah.
I do have to say that I find the behavior disappointing, and I don't have a dog in the fight. I saw the comments, I read the article, read the full article. I was appalled at the reaction. I would have liked to have read some form of contrition and some form of a positive way to move that particular film forward. And I cannot believe people throw money at idiots like this, and they just behave like narcissistic fools. And speaking of narcissistic fools, here's another pop culture thing that's driving me up the wall. Did anyone see these Bizarro World ads being run by Entertainment Weekly? They're like, in the Harry Potter films, how the newspapers come alive and they depict the wanted people. Okay, well, the Rings of Cringe, also known as the Rings of Cheese, also known as the Rings of Abasement. I think it's called they're called the Rings of Power, actually, or some crap like that. You have to see these ads. I cannot believe how cheesy and how cringy they are. They're exactly like the Harry Potter newspaper ads, and they feature each character doing something very, very cheesy, very, very cringy, sort of turning around, giving their best Zoolander pout, and they're in their costumes, and it's so utterly unreasonable and ridiculous and cheesy that it hurts you to watch it. Like, you have to avert your eyes. Mark, if you could share the Entertainment Weekly URL so that everyone can see these.
Okay,
I'll send it to you over Twitter through the Clubhouse. But folks, you have to see these in rapid succession. So they're posted one after another, and they're all the same cheese. So much cheese that you're embarrassed for this IP.
Oh my goodness gracious!
By the way, J-Man, yes, that movie's finished. By the way, Batgirl is finished from what they said.
Well, the filming was
filming and
finished.
everything, filming. I mean, I'm sure most of it was
Yeah.
done, right?
Yeah, they were in
screened it.
post right. They were in post
Probably
right
in post. Yeah.
now. Yeah. So, but
Not
I mean
anymore.
that means that's a lot of the movies.
So it means a lot of it's
Now-
all the shooting's done, but yeah.
Now there is a video in this. Could we get? Is it safe? I guess
I don't think it's
Uh,
safe.
What are you talking about?
to show the video. Well, it's not a
I
video.
have to
it's
make
just
I have to make a
entertainment
skin
cinema.
for Clobby that would actually like obscure
Yeah, I'm rather not.
the visual to the point where they wouldn't pull any copyright. And the thing is that they have people that are going around making copyright claims, even though it is fair use, because fair use is limited by somebody asking to have it taken down. And certainly there are people who actively work in social media for these IPs that are currently doing that because they're getting ratioed like cray. Like
Yeah,
the
so I'll just
rings
put
of
this in the
cheese.
chat so everyone can.
Yeah.
I'll shrink it with
Yeah.
but like as I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh, it's not really a video. It's more of the character. Oh my goodness gracious, this is horrendous.
It is
Oh,
horrendous.
perfect.
And
What
are you
what's
looking at?
worse
Oh,
is
this is the
if you
clubhouse?
click on the URL that says show this thread, and it shows all of the characters doing this same turnaround as though they're posing for some
Oh,
type
boy.
of romance novel
Yeah.
cover. It's
Yes, I
absolutely
see it.
like it's sickening. Like it's so gross. It makes you want to take a shower. It's just so cringy.
I see it. Oh my god. Everyone else is talking about this show. I have no interest in it.
Yeah, me neither.
Zero. I mean, if I want Lord of the Rings and I don't want to read the books or something, I will watch the Peter Jackson movies,
Yeah,
which I
they're
like.
wonderful.
Yeah,
But the
And,
rings of cheese, the rings of cringe.
that's gonna be what
It's
a
a
waste
hard
of
pass.
money.
Don't
that
insult
is.
cheese lovers.
I'm
It's horrible.
sorry. I'm
Part
sorry.
Swiss.
Oh boy.
The rings
So,
of cringe, folks.
The
The
rings
rings
of
of the
white
basement.
clam pizza.
that's
No.
really bad. So, well, shall we begin our reviewing? Are we ready to review the
Yeah,
Orville?
let's go ahead.
You all
Let's do
ready?
it. If you're ready to do it, boss, I'm
Okay.
ready.
Let me announce to everyone.
Oh,
while
spoilers. Yeah.
We're about to review the season finale of the Orville. So I will put this up here. So as long as this thing's running, if you don't want spoiler reverse, then you can mute or whatever, and please come back and when we're done spoilering. But if you don't care about spoilers, well, that's cool too. But so as long as the thing is up, we will be talking some spoilers there, if you care.
Yes.
You've been warned.
Yep.
You have been
Been
warned. You
warned.
see that ticker? When you see that ticker
Yeah.
rolling along the bottom of the screen, we
Yep.
are talking spoilers. You need
Spoiled
to avoid.
cheese.
We will let
So-
you know when the boss takes the ticker down. We'll stop talking about the Orville, and there will be no.
Yepperoni. Yepperoni. So, number one, do you want to start this week?
Sure, why not?
Well, unless unless
no.
you two can fight amongst yourselves who starts.
No,
Unless
I
you
don't
don't
wanna
make me
fight.
start, I don't care who starts.
Well, Mark
ahead,
usually
number one.
goes first because I crush his dreams.
Yes.
Um,
well, maybe
He's so
Dreams this time.
positive and he cares so
Yeah.
much about it. But you know what? I'm just gonna go.
Go for it.
Okay, Future Unknown. This is season 3, episode 10. We open with the Bachelor in Paradise, which is, of course, the Mancini orchestra. This is easy listening jazz. It's 1960s cocktail jazz for TV. So it's very upbeat. It feels very sitcomish. And then we go directly to a mating ritual for Mocklins. And of course, we have naked Bordis and his spouse, Clyden. It's an
And a thong.
animalistic or violent chasing. It's like a hunting scenario
Mhm.
that ends in sexual intercourse. Bordis is hit with a boulder. The two
Yeah,
men
I was
are
gonna
naked.
sorry to interrupt, but how was he able to throw that How was he able to throw a boulder like that? Did they ever say the Mocklins were that strong?
Yeah, I don't care. I just think it's crap.
It's just,
Well, that didn't make
let's see.
sense. Like, I could say that, the security officer obviously,
That's a good
was
point.
super. I was like, how? Because Kelly beat up, Clyde
Beat up-
the other
That's
week.
true. She beat up Clyden, but he can throw a ball. Oh, never.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
That's a
actually
good
a very
point.
good point. Very good point. Okay,
And then the
so
line was,
God.
I got to interject. The line was, "If I catch him, we will share the sexual event there among the
Do
trees."
you have to?
Yes, but
Does he
it
really have
is
to say
very
that?
grapey. It's a grape scenario. It's chase you down
Yeah.
and physically
Well,
violate you, then grape you.
Michael,
And of course, I'm not a silly heart, and I'm just going along with these tinfoil hat accusations. I do need to make sure that I'm careful of what I say, or the algorithm will bleep our
no,
show.
everyone here knows. Yeah,
Good, good, good. I just don't
Yeah.
want people to think I'm being
no,
silly.
we got you.
So here we have two men. They're naked. They're wearing leather jock straps. They're bare-assed, and they're having forced and coerced intercourse. It is a grape scenario.
Yeah.
And then we go to Sargas 4, and we're just there for a few seconds. They have embedded and covert teams studying the culture on Sargas 4. Now, that you will recall, this was the planet where Lamar got himself in a great deal of trouble. This is the planet that is governed by vanity metrics. So, of course, this was
Right.
a play on
The Facebook planet.
or social
Yep.
media.
Twitter.
the
yeah.
Facebook planet.
The
That's a good
Facebook
episode.
planet.
Oh,
Then we
Lord.
go directly to Isaac proposing to Claire. Then the opening credits run. Then we return to Isaac and Claire and their relationship. Now, watch how many times I repeat this word relationship.
relationship.
Then we go to the ladies and wine scene where the women are discussing relationships. Kelly says they're drunk. Ed walks in the room. They talk down to him. They show him absolutely no respect, even though he's in uniform. And then they giggle about it.
You've
Then
been
we
useful,
return-
sober man.
Yeah, hello. Take your shadow and be goneth, sober man. And then we return to the Sargas 4 storyline, and we have Lysella, and she wants asylum. We have some commentary on the current state of social media. We have some commentary on politics and our society, and it's weird that Ed grants Lysella asylum
Very weird.
without consulting the union or command in any way. He just says yes, and it's weird. We have a weird water cooler moment where everyone is sitting around talking about their feelings. And then we have the mention of the cone of silence. Now, many people think this is from Get Smart, which actually means, that it would be amplified. That's the inside joke. But as a broadcasting instructor and a former broadcaster, you should also know that the cone of silence is the tiny space above the radio tower that is an actual cone of silence. Then we go to a scene where Claire discusses her relationship with her kids, and they discuss Isaac's proposal. Then we go to a scene where Claire accepts Isaac's proposal, more relationship. Then we go to a scene where Isaac asks Kelly for a date, and he asks her for sexual intercourse. Here Isaac says coital deployment. I did think that was truly funny. I did do my ugly laugh. Coital deployment. So, ladies, if you are in need, just ask your husband for coital deployment. Then we have a scene where Kelly describes a society without money. We have some subtle commentary on socialism and voting. Claire and Kelly discuss the wedding and Isaac being influenced by Lamar. Then we have a scene where Isaac and Claire discuss their relationship. Claire discusses her relationship with Lamar. She redresses him, and then she threatens him. Then we go to a scene where Kelly shows Lysella the simulator, and we're introduced to a new species, and that's quite good, but it's
cool.
All is lost. We don't ever explore it. Then we go to a scene where Isaac discusses who will be his best man. Then we go to a scene where Isaac expresses his sense of family to the primary, and the Kalon are invited to his wedding. Then we go to a scene where it's blatantly obvious that Lysella is collecting info and tech to go home. Kelly shows her different tech on the ship. We have some subtle commentary on relationships, social media, and society. Then we go to a scene where Ed and Gordon discuss relationships, and Lamar is there. He doesn't say much, but they're having more of this relationship talk. Then we go to a scene where the ladies are discussing their hen party or bachelorette, wherever you live, however you refer to it, hen party, bachelorette. Lysella very clearly is collecting tech here. We have some talk about colonialism and capitalism that is discussed against the ideal of idealized socialism. So socialism is highly idealized in this conversation, and it is put up against colonialism and capitalism to show it in a negative light.
Yep.
Then we have the scene of the bachelor party, and there's more violent relationship stuff from Bortus and Clyde. There's more abuse. It's extremely it's extreme verbal violence. And then we have the scene of the hen party. The women have programmed a robot stripper. And so here we see that her desire is for a literal Steely Dan. So not a figurative Steely Dan here, where you're grappling with, whether or not Claire is using Isaac as though he's some sort of device. It's a literal Steely Dan. Then we go back to the bachelor party. Clyden is now an odd character that makes no sense. He's jovial, he's lighthearted, he's very sweet and timid. It's weird because that's not what his character has been fleshed out to be. Then we have Lysella asking Kelly to go home. There is some talk of privilege, so they start talking about privilege. And then there's a wedding dress scene. And they talk down to Ed. The nature of materialization is called into question. Okay, so I put this in parentheses because I thought that the nature of the materialization was rather odd. It made one stop and come out of the story for a minute and say, okay, this science fiction really sucks. Is this a holographic projection of a wedding dress, or is the machine making her outfit for her on her body? It's a little weird, and I found it distracting.
Cool though, but
it's cool,
inconsistent
but
though.
I guess, but so is Say Yes to the Dress. Do you watch that with your wife? Absolutely ridiculous. Not science fiction. I was not impressed. And then we have a Matter of Time from TNG season 5, episode 9. This Rasmussen moment where Lysella tries to take tech. And the tech is been specced out perfectly to heal her society. So it's a real Rasmussen ripoff from TNG. Then we go to a scene in the simulator where colonization is discussed. The idea of nations and borders is disparaged. Capitalism is disparaged. So they have a lengthy discussion about colonialism, the fact that nations and borders are a bad thing, that capitalism is a bad thing. Then they mock big weddings because the Kalons arrive. And that's, coming from, being an adopted Greek and living as a Greek person for nearly 2 decades. I did think that was quite hysterical because our weddings really are that big. And then Vivaldi plays and the wedding starts. Then we have this scene from Nemesis, Star Trek Nemesis, and it's completely replayed. And then I put in parentheses, I'm going to barf. This is the Decker unit and Counselor Cameltoe's scene with Poopy Stew, Pee Hard, and their wedding. And then we have wedding bliss, and then we have a wedding reception, and then we have a random Alara appearance. Then we have Bortus as an MC. It's terrible beyond humor because Bortus is more emotionally intelligent than this.
Yeah, totally out of place.
Yeah, totally out of place. I totally agree. And Clyden is suddenly Mary Poppins. He's so saccharine, you could get a cavity just talking to him. This is somebody who just stabbed his spouse to death. Unbelievable. Yeah. Anyways, Gordon takes over and a laugh track plays. Now, this is something that I find highly unappealing. I'm not a fan of Seth MacFarlane's weird potty humor cartoons in his shows. I don't like situation comedies. I'm a science fiction fan. I'm a nerd, not a geek. So I find this highly unappealing. Then we have the Gordon cringe singing moment. This guy is so cheesy. There's so much cringe here that it's gross. it makes me feel icky. And how we can express this is in just one lyrics, just one line, the lyrics from just a short little bite of the lyrics from his ridiculously bad song. Time isn't.
Did he
really
write that? Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
No, but I mean that was a song they wrote for the show, right? It was.
I've never.
Terrible.
I didn't recognize the song if it wasn't.
Yeah, that's what I was asking. Because Raquel's a musician.
Sounds like something John Denver would sing. I guess.
Time isn't really real. Like, anyway, Ed and Kelly hold hands. Okay, this is more ew. And then these are my final comments. This isn't science fiction. This is a romantic comedy. They're trying to cash in on this Bridgerton. 86 million people watch Bridgerton. They're trying to tap into this. Anyone who's calling this science fiction is a moron. I'm telling you that as a communications and technology scholar who studied writing in university for 4 years. I have a degree in it. This is not science fiction. This is 100% a romantic comedy. By the definition of the genre, this is not science fiction. Okay, this is it has a sitcom feel. It shifts tone so much that it winds up mocking and trivializing its own attempts at critical theory and sociology. So we have this weird tonal shift. It 1 minute it's a romantic comedy and you're supposed to accept it as this disarming romantic comedy. I mean, it's got all the hallmarks of a romantic comedy. It's all about relationships. It's all about comedy. It has crude sexual humor in it. And it's happening at work. I mean, that's where romantic comedies happen. They happen on vacation, they happen at work, or they happen in the home. This has all the hallmarks. You could write an entire essay on the fact that this is romantic comedy. It's not science fiction. If you think this is science fiction, you are deluded. You are a delusional person, and you need to go and pick up a literary theory book and read it over and over and over again until you die. Yeah,
but it had robots. It had robots.
No, that's crap. And this tonal shift thing, I've talked about this before in the past. I'm going to talk about it again. I am a communications and technology scholar. I have studied critical theory. It's a big part of what I do. Of course, it is under the branch of communications theory, which is the philosophy that discusses the different apparatuses we use to study the way people communicate. Critical theory is one of them. So here we have this show with these people who went to trade school and took comic book writing and cartooning and stuff like that. And I don't want to say anything bad about that. I think that's glorious. That's beautiful. You are an artisan. I completely respect you. But guess what? Critical theory is not a side hustle. And it's not something that a bunch of people, many of whom haven't even, finished high school, should be wielding in a show. And if you are going to wield it in a show and you're going to get into this subject matter and you're going to try and act like you're going to edify, admonish, you're going to use hegemony, you're going to use hyperdidacticism to impress these ideas in critical theory on the audience, then you can't also completely defy that and turn it into a romantic comedy where there is extreme sexual violence, where there's relationship violence, and you defy all the things that you were trying to quote unquote edify people with. It doesn't fit. I don't like that a corporation is doing it. If an author chooses to do this on their own in a book, that's fine. That is a dialogue between the reader and the writer. That's fine. But a corporation has no business doing this. People have no business supporting a corporation doing this. A corporation has no business informing you, like the Catholic Church did 200 years ago, about what your ethics and your morals should be. That is not what a corporation is meant to do. A corporation is a business that has legal personhood. It's out to make money. It's not there to edify our society or to inform our morals and our ethics. It's there to make us consume. So there's this big soup that these people who make this show have created. I think it's garbage. I think that it's hysterical that people would say this show is good. I think it's crap. And I'm calling it out for being crap. And that's all I have to say.
Thank
Ladies
God,
and gentlemen,
went first tonight.
we have a bulletin, folks. Raquel, this just in.
Crap, 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 crap.
There you have it, folks. Cap off that wonderful review. Well done. We get the impression that she thinks it's crap. Well, Mark.
Yeah,
Just
well, I
wait.
would have given. Well, go Raquel. Yeah, what you got?
Nirad and Axamandabear, welcome, my friend.
Hey, Michael Beacom.
Nirad.
Good
Yeah,
evening,
Michael Beacom,
Beacons. It's so nice to see you.
Beacons.
JT Kirk, hello, honey, I
JT.
love ya.
Good to see you all.
Hey, JT. Yep.
Anyway, sorry, Mark, go ahead.
No, sorry to interrupt you a couple of times, but I just wanted to throw in a couple of things before.
You can interrupt me anytime. I love you.
Okay. Yeah, I would, I'm maybe a kinder reviewer, but I agree with what you're saying. I think I always, try to give people I hate being mean. Not that you were mean. You're pointing out some great points, but I always try to, if Seth was in the room, what would I yell crap at him?
I would.
I don't know.
I
You would,
would.
but I wouldn't. So yeah, I'll give you kudos for that. But I think this is framed as a series-ending episode, and I think they went for the schmaltzy, sitcom view, and then they threw in some Prime Directive talk to try to give you that sci-fi element, and that is always an interesting conversation about they don't call it the Prime Directive of the show, but basically that's what it is, and that was an interesting I don't blame the person. What was her name, Kelly or Keely, or I can't remember her the character's name in the show.
Lestella?
Oh, thank you. Yeah. So I mean, I can't blame her for wanting to steal tech and bring it back to our world and try to lift her world out of poverty, or and then the scenes in the simulators were well done with the that was a gorgeous scene with that inside the just technically in that asteroid, and that was interesting. But this is not a sci-fi episode. It did have some good moments. I love the inviting the Kalon, and it's like you invited them all, like all the Kalon. We're leaving a small contingent on the planet. So the Orville does some of the humor, well, but the opening with Bortus. I mean, could you imagine if they had done that between a man? That scene between a man and a woman, and it wasn't that, and they had to take it to the next level. It wasn't like just capture them or tag them. They had to have complete the sexual act after that. Could you imagine if one of you wouldn't be able to show it on TV if it had been with two men? And I never wanted to see Bortus and Clyde in a thong.
Ezra.
We did get that.
Oh, that whole scene. Oh my God.
It's a
Ezra
jockstrap.
Goldstein.
They were bare ass naked, and
Right.
it was just covering their junk.
Yeah. So it's
Hey,
but-
Pop Culture Republic!
Paco
Hey,
and
Papa
Ezra
Republic.
Goldstein, both are here.
And
Thank you.
Ezra, hello!
Good to see you both. Thank you for being here.
yeah. So they're going for those cheap.
Dadman.
Hey, Dadman.
Oh,
Yep, Dadman's been here for a while.
Dadman.
Yep.
Go continue, Mark. Sorry.
It's okay. It's all good. Yeah, the good stuff. Yep. So, I mean, that opening scene, you could never done that scene without it. And
No.
if they didn't take it to that next level, it actually would have been a funny scene. Like, if they had just, because Bortus is pretty, funny in his deadpan delivery, but, they just took it to that. And even, Gordon actually says it towards the end of the episode. He says, well, this is a human ceremony. He's arguing with Bortus about wanting to be best man. It's not running naked through a forest. The goal here is a dignified union, not a blank assault. I will be your best. And then Bortus says, I will be your best man. I will speak. So I mean, even the show writers acknowledge what they're putting into the episode. But I did like, some of those touches, and before I watched it, on Hulu, you can actually, I didn't realize this, you can actually put your mouse on the timeline and see what's happening in the episode in a little kind of square. And I wanted to see how long the episode was. And I'm like a kid, sneaking a peek at their Christmas presents in the morning, ruining the surprise,
You were doing that when I was talking to you.
They're talking, and you're like, Mark, don't you hate spoilers? And normally I try
Don't
to.
you hate
I don't-
spoilers?
I don't like spoilers. What I try to do is not watch all the previews or I hate like the 3-minute
Right.
preview. I kind of want to go in cold, but it's not the end of the world. But then I'm scrolling through, fast forward. I'm like, oh, Claire's getting married. I see the marriage. I see, it's an all crew episode. The Kalon were at the wedding. I'm like, yep. So it's nothing happened in this episode that was game changing. Of course, then as soon as Alara showed up too, it's just kind of a let's send the crew off. Everything's good. And Mercer says, do you believe a year ago we were fighting the Kalon, and now they're here, as allies. So it was really just I think obviously a series send off if they do get a new season. That there's plenty of places they could take the show. Hopefully, we'll say more exploration and more science fiction.
Take it away for all I care.
Take it, Calgon, take me away.
Get it out of here. Yeah.
But I think and Gore, Scott Grimes loves to sing, so they. I keep mentioning that.
Sing somewhere else.
I keep mentioning that Comic-Con where they talked about doing a musical episode, and of course this season, how many songs do we get?
Oh, please God, don't do a musical episode.
Oh wait, can I do an impersonation of Borda singing as Elvis?
No, I don't want to relive that.
You want to get your shins destroyed?
I love you, but please don't. It was
how
bad
bad
enough
was
the first time around.
I'm a horrible singer, so it was like, how bad was that to have?
I guess
it wasn't even
funny,
close.
dude.
It wasn't even semi bad karaoke can be funny, but it wasn't even like Bordas, really like his character, but
cracked me up just looking at him. Now he's like, oh God, really?
They overdid it, so it's and of course the stuff with Commander Lamar, some of that was funny,
that was kind of funny. The idiot getting Isaac in trouble, but some of the they were trying to bring back some of the old humor of the show, but wasn't as good, and there were a few funny things in it, but it didn't all land that well. But continue. I'm sorry.
When you're talking about like socialism and colonialism and capitalism, and you're talking about all these big Larry.
Hey, Larry.
You're talking about all these big concepts, and you're using this very broad brush to discuss all of these things, and you're doing it in a very hegemonic way. You're trying to show this leadership through dominance. You're trying to use the ruling class, the bourgeoisie. You're trying to use them to influence the proles, the proletariat, and you have this mechanism here. You can't just then switch the tone into comedy, because now all of a sudden you won't take responsibility for this violent sexual intercourse. You won't take responsibility for a spouse stabbing his spouse to death. You won't take responsibility for a father who will not take his daughter, but you'll speak to all these big issues like abortion. You'll speak to issues like, capitalism is bad, socialism is marvelous, and you're making these broad strokes, and you're not getting into it. It's very cowardly, because what you do is you get to use your Twitter opinions, everything that he's putting on his Twitter, and he gets to put that in the show. But the minute that he's called to the carpet to explain himself, to flesh those ideas out and make those ideas and those opinions real, to ratify them, he scurries away. He crawls underneath the baseboard like a cockroach. And I just don't understand it. I think it's absolutely bizarre that someone can try and tackle colonialism, try and tackle capitalism, try and make it seem as though we need socialism, try and tackle things like abortion, but then leave all of these stereotypes, sexual abuse, violence, and try and make it humorous. Why would anyone even try to defend this? I mean, there should be millions of people out there like me who are shouting that this is very hypocritical. It's not good. It's not good. And a corporation doing this, not an individual author, has a massive impact. Whenever I bring up the Catholic Church, it's not because I want to say bad stuff about the Catholic Church, folks. It's the fact that prior to having the printing press, we had scribes and Pharisees, monks, people who worked in churches, and they had the power of the written word. Very few people were literate. And even if they were literate, how would you get a book? The books had to be written by someone, one letter at a time. And so the church carried a lot of power because they controlled the written word. So when I'm bringing that stuff up, it's not to say bad stuff about the Catholic Church. It's about helping the public to focus in on the power of communications and technology and the medium itself. Now, when we look at the medium, we see the internet, we see this streaming service, we see this as this control over what type of information we're discussing, what type of information edifies and informs our morals, our ethics, our societal discussions. And so in that way, the corporations doing this for money is a very scary thing, and people need to be cognizant of it. And the fact that they're mixing those two things together and then trying to make it super humorous and stabbing your partner to death is funny doesn't work for me. And I think it's really socially irresponsible. And I already think that it already took too much gall. And they should be ashamed that they would try and wield graduate level university theory, social theory, sociology, and communications theory, and then do something like this. And people should not let them away with it. People should not say, oh, I like this. This is good. Well, this was humorous. This was a little bit fun. No, you have to look at the totality of what's being done here and by whom. And by whom. If this show is going to be a romantic comedy, it's going to be lighthearted. There's going to be potty humor. And, Bortus and Clyden, that's relationship. Claire and Isaac, that's relationship. Kelly getting back together with Ed, that's relationships. Gordon being jealous of Bortus, these are all relationships. If you want to make the show about that, that's fine. But I think that it is really, really the height of hubris and the height of hypocrisy to try and get into sociology, get into that graduate theory, and then defy it, mock it, trivialize it, and make it humorous. That is ridiculous, and the public should not be allowing this. The public should call these people out on this. Sorry, everyone. Sorry, I'm going to stop talking now.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm just,
okay.
I'm a little pissed off. Sorry.
No, I can tell. Yeah, no, I mean, I'm
don't
looking
blame
at
you.
it when I was watching. I'm like, they're just taking the easy way out instead of giving us something really cool to end the series on. Because I think this is the end of the series. They just went with a schmaltzy relationship episode, and the tone was totally inconsistent. In the first few episodes of the Orville, I think the tone was off, and then they finally found their footing. And then, like tonight, where the lines that Bortus said were just so poorly written, I clipped them. I'll just read them really quickly. But Dr. Finn, many crew members have privately frowned upon you mating with Isaac. They feel will not succeed. All kidding aside, I wish you well. Isaac, you betrayed us. Your actions caused the destruction of many ships and the deaths of many people. All kidding aside, congratulations on this day. He is very good. Dr. Finn, I do not believe an artificial life form is capable of properly raising your children. You will most likely fail in this attempt. All kidding aside. And then as Isaac is Commander Bortus, thank you for your well-prepared address. But I mean, that's just so totally tone deaf that, you could have Bortus saying something, maybe a little bit off key or kilter, but Bortus would not be that stupid to say, call Isaac out and call Claire out.
It was weird.
It was really, really poorly written, and really, and I as I was watching, I'm like, God, and I'm watching, maybe too late at night too, and I didn't rewatch it again today. But it's, it's probably better to wait till the next day when you can relax and enjoy it, or try to enjoy it more. But those lines really struck me, because that's just totally making Bortus the butt of the joke there, instead of having his saying something maybe that someone from Earth wouldn't understand. So that line was, I think those lines are the most egregious lines, and kind of start to ruin the character of Bortus. So it's just, I don't know how that could get through. Anyone would watch it and think that was actually funny, or helped, because these are quote unquote our heroes on the show, right? You're supposed to like the characters in the crew and look up to them, not look down on them. And you do have some of a sci-fi element, I guess, with Claire and Isaac. And we're going to talk about that a little bit. But how the hell does that make sense, that she would marry a robot? I mean, he's got no emotion, and even Even his wedding vows, he says, I am unable to reciprocate your love. However, the only occasion upon which I ever made an error in judgment was 21 hours, 7 minutes, and 14 seconds after you terminated our coupling. I cannot experience affection. However, I prefer not to experience error. It is possible you will continue. It's possible you will ensure my continued efficiency. It's like, I mean, how, other than I don't want to be too crude, but I mean, how the heck could she find comfort in Isaac? It's just beyond. It just when TNG explored that with Data and how
Okay,
those
Steve,
dates worked
take
out.
it easy, buddy.
Take care, Steve. Yep, feel better.
You call me when you need to, man.
Sounds good. Yep. So so that's that's a slight sci-fi element, of course, to the Prime Directive we mentioned, but it's all glossed over to try to give us this swarmy send off and get the Kelly and Ed holding hands at the end. Does that mean they're back together? But it was just really you're right, Raquel. It was more of a sitcom, and they didn't try to do anything really sci-fi and like the opening with Bortus. If you'd let me write that, I could have done it. I could have done something that would have been funny, but don't show the characters like that and make the character the butt of jokes, and don't have you could have some kind of fun chase or something that you have to do, but nothing so egregious there. So I thought it was
and
that was
not only that, like I already take umbrage with those opening scenes, because of course that I've studied bell hooks. I look up to bell hooks and her enlightened witness strategy of semiotic analysis. And so here you have these aliens that are people of color, and you have them, and they're obviously same sex. They're a same-sex couple, and it's just repeatedly violent and verbally abusive, and also very animalistic. These two men of color, chasing one another around to have violent and forced intercourse in the woods, and to be humiliated by wearing these jock straps with their posteriors exposed, and this is what I'm saying. Like,
it was
on
supposed
YouTube
to be
channels,
funny.
all
It was
these
supposed to
people
be funny.
yeah, like on YouTube channels, all these people are saying all this bad stuff about critical theory. Well, the reason why is because these people don't understand critical theory. And it's not like you can just read a Wikipedia page and then you understand what critical theory is. Critical theory is actually a really wonderful thing. But it's important if it's in the hands of somebody who studied it, who has a parchment in it. And if you don't have a parchment in it, if you didn't study it in graduate school, if you haven't studied the philosophy of it at a 5, 6, 7, 8, 900 level in university, you shouldn't be using it. And so this is that opening scene is a prime example of someone who is well-meaning, and they think they're using critical theory in a way that's great, and they're doing something wonderful, when meanwhile they're doing something really, really rotten, like awful. The semiotics are terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just what was the when the Mocklins pee once a year with what's the how do you say it? Geloja. I mean, that was hysterical.
That was pretty funny, but they made it work.
I mean, that's funny because that's not offensive, but when you have this pursuit and then
it was crude, but
it was very crude.
Let's say it's crude, but it's there's kind of a they made it. I don't know. They just made the episode work, and it was funny when the show had a lot of comedy in it. I mean,
yes. It was very lighthearted because it wasn't trying to be this hyper-didactic mechanism of hegemony. It wasn't trying to create this reformation or this admonishment to edify the public. It wasn't trying to do that at all. It was actually kind of brushing up against the issues, leaving you to decide what you thought about those issues, and doing it in a lighthearted way. And there was lots of science in the show at that time. Lots of science peppered in. And that's not what it is anymore, is it, Clubby?
Nope, not at all.
Well,
mean-
yeah,
I
definitely.
mean, like I said, they skip. Excuse me. They skim around it a little bit here and there, but they don't focus on it anymore. That opening scene almost made me stop watching the show last night. I was uncomfortable. I'm like, oh, I mean, aren't you just? I thought they would cut it off, like when they ride into the woods and like. And I think the old show might have started out the hunt thing. However, whatever you think of the taste, the poor taste of the whole thing or whatever. And then that was it. They wouldn't show them for like, what is it, 10 minutes of a scene of them running through the woods. Like, I think they might have cut it off and it starts to show up into something, like a teaser, like a pre-credits teaser. Then they go somewhere else and do something else, some other kind of real story. To show that whole scene, none of it works. It's all horrible anyway, but to show that whole stupid scene, I almost stopped. I got to tell you, it was disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
I just, all right, I'm tired. I don't know about you, but I've never really been the biggest fan of the whole Isaac Clare stuff. I mean, there were some funny things about it at first, I guess, but I was never like super in love with the whole thing, to be perfectly honest with you. I mean, I put up with it because it was in some okay episodes. I never really got into that relationship that much because, quite frankly, I don't really watch a science fiction show for relationships. However, take a show like Deep Space Nine, which is, or Babylon 5, which does need them because it is a recurring, it is something of a soap opera. However, they managed to balance it brilliantly. For example, the relationships between Sisko and his son is a beautiful relationship. The relationships between, O'Brien and Bashir and Sisko and Dax and Odo and Odo and Odo and Kira, Odo and Quark. Relationships between characters are necessary if you've got a long form show where you're telling stories with continuity. And yes, you can have some romance shit in there sometimes, but they make those work so well because of the writing. The Orville didn't do a lot of that in the first two seasons. There was some of it. It was fairly well done. It wasn't all that heavy-handed. In this this season, it has been the primary focus of the entire season for the most part, relationships, and they are not good at it.
Yep.
Look at Lamar and the security chief. They botched that.
That was terrible.
Tala,
thank you. Yep.
If you're gonna do that on your show, I prefer you. Yeah, you don't. If you're gonna be something like the Orville. Because even on even for all the things on Next Generation, yeah, they did a little bit of that sometimes, but even that, they just told their dumb story or whatever. And yeah, you got dumb crap like here and there, like the Troy Worf things. For the most part, you got a story or multiple stories. And, relationships were there, they existed, but they weren't a focus of the show. And some were good, some weren't. But we're never going to get original Trek where you don't have to worry about that kind of crap. So if you're going to do it, try to do it well. And try to keep it still in the background from telling good science fiction stories or even good adventure stories, depending on what you want to do. They're horrible at it. Yeah, that's a very good point, Hungry Boy. This is very CW. This show has turned into a CW show.
I like what Michael Beacom said, boss.
Go for it.
He's like, I think Orville season 3 is proof that sometimes having limits, Fox Network improves the material. I go one step further.
I agree.
Like I'm super left, and a lot of people who I YouTube with are extreme right. Well, not extreme, but they're just right. Okay, and I'm just left.
I'm always right.
Just right. But everyone knows what I'm saying, right? Like,
Yeah.
I think that when you have people who have different views working together, sometimes the product comes out much better because it means that everyone can take something away from it.
Right.
And it's
a
more
balance.
Because there's balance. Yeah. And I agree, Michael Beacom. I think that when the Orville was on Fox, it was like somebody who was left, who was tempered by the right. Just like I'm left and I'm tempered by the right when I'm hanging out with Mark and Clobby. Like, it's just, I think that you have to keep an open mind, and you have to be a rational human being. You can't let yourself become a radical lunatic. And so I think that Michael Beacom's comment is great because it shows we need to be working together. You know, we need to work together, regardless of who we vote for or who strangers may identify
Right.
us as. You know,
Right.
Politically, I mean.
And then but the trick is, or not trick, or you have to be able to listen to other people too. So even if that's the problem too, and people won't, compromise. Not that you have to compromise your beliefs, but just listen to acknowledge other points of view and say, hey, well, maybe you do have a point there, and maybe we could change this a little bit, here and there. Or, that's what they always say is, if when you make a deal, if both people are a little unhappy, that usually means it's a good deal, right? So because you both have to give and take. So I was, I was disappointed by this episode. I didn't think it was as horrible because I just viewed it as they're just trying to wrap up the series and they're just doing a comedy piece and send the characters off into happiness. But of course, they didn't do it they could have gone the sci-fi route and given us something exciting or some action. That's what I was hoping for. And then maybe you could have like a wedding ceremony, a 5-minute wedding ceremony at the end instead of, having bachelor parties and talking about synthesizing, way too much liquor and
getting yourself, getting Clyden back together with Bordis. Like the whole show was about, about relationships. And Clobby, did you see the way people were talking on Twitter? I was shocked. Like when I was on Twitter today, I was absolutely shocked when I saw the way that people were talking. Do you know that there were big Twitter handles that surround the Orville where there were people retweeting and hundreds of people were liking full threads where they were just talking about Claire's wedding dresses. It was say yes to the dress. It was just like a bunch of women talking about the wedding dress.
Well, that second dress was beautiful.
Hey, Tim Stock.
Hey, Tim Stock.
Tim Stock said he just hit 7
congrats.
hubs.
Hey, congratulations.
Hey, well, congratulations. Everyone, by the way, please find Tim Talk's channel and subscribe if you haven't.
Yeah, get him to 701.
Right, he is a good chap, and he pops in and says hello often, and please go help him out there.
I'm sure one of the wrenches will throw his channel in for us.
Congratulations, dude.
Yeah, way to go. Cool. Yep, that's not easy to get to 700.
Not easy. That's
in the 700 club now. Yep.
Indeed, it's well done.
But that's the crazy thing. Here's supposed to be this science fiction show, and you have a whole bunch of hundreds of people having conversations about Claire's wedding dress. Like,
isn't that special?
What are they second doing
dress,
to genre
Bobby,
here?
which dress would you have picked? The first dress or the second? I would have picked the second dress.
First one.
First one, you'd have gone the first
I'm kidding.
one.
I don't know which one it is because I didn't pay any damn attention to it.
That's why.
I love Penny.
That's the joke.
Like Michael Beacom, I love Penny Johnson-Jones. Yeah, I'm with you.
She's great. Yeah.
Anytime she's in a skimpy outfit, I'm happy. I mean, she's a lovely woman, beautiful lady. But I can see that on any other kind of show. I really would like to have, and then call me old-fashioned. I'd like to have my science fiction shows with a little bit of science fiction. And now this episode, because I haven't really talked about the show much yet, this one, but like I said, that opening crap almost made me stop. Then I was a little calmed down. I actually thought, okay, this is relatively interesting that this girl is calling them back to the planet. Maybe we're going to have some kind of a story. What's going on with that? I was curious. I was intrigued. They bring her on the ship. I'm like, I don't know if you could be doing that, dude. Letting her, I feel bad for her and everything. I'm not so sure that's a good idea. But all right, but okay. And I watched and again, the stuff with her. Obviously, what you were saying about there's a lot of the stupid things that Kelly was telling her. Raquel, I definitely agree with you about. But I thought that's a shame because some of the ideas, like some of her talking about their prime directive, which I don't know what they call theirs. Some of that would have been a really good idea if it was handled well. And I was again, they didn't focus on it that much, but I found that could have been a more interesting story to pursue if you do it well, of course. But it became relatively obvious early on that there was going to be a Claire Isaac wedding episode. The other story kind of woven into the background a little bit. And again, I guess maybe it's because of all the bad stuff that's gone on in the season beforehand, other than last week, which was at least mildly entertaining and all that stuff. I'm I'm bored. And by the way, Minimus isn't here. Minimus called. He said he almost fell asleep a couple. He hated the episode and he was bored to death. And I don't see how anybody was truly really excited about that episode, unless you just like seeing those people just hanging around. And that looks, let's face it, modern TV is a lot like that. This show has become like every other TV show now. It's people hanging around in hallways and corridors having conversations. People, for example, have said those who actually are dumb enough to I'm just kidding. Marvel and DC Comics. I'm kidding if you still buy them. I'm just throwing some shade at Mark there. But people buying Marvel and DC Comics, when they review them now, every time I see someone review one, they're always showing how, look, these characters are just sitting around talking. I mean, for 5 pages, 6 pages, they don't have stories and adventures anymore. Well, this show's become that. I mean, yes, they had one last week, but how many? The rest of the year they haven't done that much. They start out. Look, the first episode was a closed story where they didn't have to worry about that much. But the second one, okay, at least it was an adventure story. The third one, whether you like it or not, at least they're trying to be science fiction, had its faults, but it was at least trying to go somewhere. Then they throw the brakes on with episode 4 and 5, and even 6. It's just. And they become political, they become boring, they become relationship obsessed. It was Dawson's Creek in space. Thank you very much, Hungry Boy. And then the penultimate episode is at least a thriller where you have some adventure and some action, and it's kind of okay. And what do they do to end the season and maybe the series? Nothing. Who gives? By the way, did you notice the nod to Star Trek when Mercer talked about basically quoted from Balance of Terra about since the early days of the early winning vessels, every ship's okay, and that was cute. I mean, this is Star Trek nod, that's fine. But do we really want to end this thing on a freaking wedding? Who cares about a wedding?
Yep.
That's what they always do.
In Balance of Terra, 2 characters we don't know about, and that's it. I don't remember a Star Trek episode that concentrated on 2 characters getting married. And when they did it in the stupid, what was it, Nemesis? It was just a couple of minutes at the beginning. For God's sake. Why do we want a whole episode about that? Why?
Yeah, I thought if Lysella had escaped with some tech and gone back to the planet,
something like that would have been better.
That would have been cool. And then you got involved with the voting, the social voting.
Go down to that planet. Lamar go back down to the planet.
Yeah, that's the way they should have gone.
By the way, funniest line was when Malloy did that to him. Says, the captain wants you to go down to that.
That was good. I was laughing at that one, so that was good. Yeah.
No, I liked coital deployment.
Oh,
ladies, when you request some coital deployment from your man, I thought that was hysterical. I ugly laughed. I spit laughed. Yeah. That was good.
It was kind of funny seeing Claire dressed down Lamar for his house. That was amusing. I mean,
it was weird. I didn't like it.
I don't know. I mean, he has to know how innocent Isaac's going to take that thing literally.
Yeah, but why were they also like being so informal and abusive towards Ed? Every time Ed walked in a room, it's like, you're useless. You didn't say anything. You don't know anything. You can go now. And then with the Lamar thing, it's like, I'll rip off your head and crack down your neck. It's like,
I know.
Serious?
I don't know. I mean, yeah, but I did think he kind of asked.
I laughed though. I did laugh at that one. You're right, again, but I did laugh.
You're right, but then again, he should. I mean, when he said that, he should have known Isaac was going to take it literally and do something stupid.
And then he's like, "What are you looking at?"
but yeah, I mean, still, the show. Hey, Andy Masterson, what's up, buddy?
Hey, Andy.
Master Maker, Andy Masterson is here.
Do you really want to end your show with a stupid, boring wedding? I mean, Jesus Christ.
Yes, we do. We do, yeah.
Last week would have been the better
sexual
ending.
ceremony. You forgot the sexual ceremony.
Yeah, that's the worst. I mean,
the sexual ceremony, wedding, and Ed and Kelly get back together again.
That's
what this episode was about.
Except for some of the stupid political crap that they did earlier in the season. That's maybe the worst thing I've ever seen on the Orville was that stupid shit with Borders and Clyde at the beginning. Which, if you just cut it off right when they were about to go run out into the woods and then start the episode.
Leave it to your imagination, then it's more funny. What they should have done is you should have showed the roads dropping, but not shown them. just like pan up and then have
Even
hear like the
that's-
sounds of no, but don't show them. You know what I'm saying? Like have the robes as you described it, and just drop them, but don't see them. You don't see them in their thongs. You just to your imagination, they just run
I
off.
wish they should not done it at all, but yeah, I mean,
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying.
anything would've
That's the way I
helped.
would have if I had to. That's the way I would have
right.
Okay, but
edited it.
now I want to ask you a question though. Now can you see why it doesn't matter who you vote for, why I am against all of this? This is not science fiction. And these
No.
corporations keep trying to conflate all of our genres. And soon we won't have anything that we can like, that things that we like. I like science fiction. And science fiction primarily is centrifugal, but it is based on three things, okay? Futurism. What's going to happen in the future? Second, technology. Where is technology going to take us? How is it going to affect us? And space. What's going to happen when we meet aliens? What's going to happen when we leave this galaxy? Will we ever leave this galaxy? And those three things are what science fiction primarily concerns itself with.
Yeah.
And then and our ability to grapple with that, the best of our imaginations for what is to come, the best of our aspirations for what we're going to invent, not just innovate, but invent. And this is supposed to be our inspiration, the driving force behind our science. And that has historically been the impetus, the inspiration for many of our modern inventions, iPads, cell phones, all of these
Communicator,
things,
yeah.
laptops, computers, all of these
Nailed.
things. So what is science fiction about this show? I'm telling you, it's
Not
nothing.
much.
As an academic, it could be easily argued that this is a romantic comedy, a romantic situation comedy. This is a rom-com sitcom on television.
Yep.
It's not science fiction, and
Yeah,
I don't like
But
it.
they had robots and stuff.
Snail
No.
Messiah.
Hey, Snail
It's not-
Messiah.
Well,
The snail.
someone mentioned that it's true. They had I forgot. I mean, it was JT Kirk. Thank you. Yes, they had Worf and Jadzia getting married, but they got 20-something episodes a season, and they did it in an episode, and that was that. I mean, they did.
Gradual.
They built
too,
up
the
it, and they had one
relationship,
funny episode. And by the way, it was funny, and it was one episode. They get 10 shots at the trough here. These shows, you can't waste an episode on crap like that. If you got 24 episodes of the Orville and they did an episode about Isaac and whatever getting married, fine. But that they don't have that anymore. But you're right. I hear what you said, JT. Absolutely. But and again, it wasn't the be all end all, and they certainly didn't end the series on it.
Well,
Yeah.
Star Trek had 27 episodes the first season, right? The
Right.
Orville's got 30 episodes total.
Yeah, I mean they get 10 shots at it, and you're going to waste an
Yeah.
episode of this crap.
So it's
Yeah.
you don't have
I
the
just
same
don't.
time
I don't
for character
understand the
development. Yeah.
appeal. I don't understand why people are on social media acting like this is mass appeal. I mean, this is basically like rom-com for men. It's kind of like men who aren't aware of the fact that wrestling is like a male soap opera. I don't find this appealing.
Real wrestling.
I like science fiction. I don't like romantic comedies. Ooh, we have yuckies. Get those
Yes,
yuckies.
somebody got them. Thank you.
I'm just
I
not.
agree with you.
I'm
It's
not interested in this. This show is dumb. I don't like the way that it tries to use sociology and critical theory and then winds up making a mockery of it. It trivializes it. I think it's very cowardly and yucky. And this is not science fiction. If you want some science fiction, episodic science fiction, you could buy my short stories.
Indeed.
There
There
you
you
go.
go. And by
But
the way,
this is not
absolutely,
science
Wendy,
fiction, folks.
That's absolutely
What did-
right.
I
Wendy
was-
is right about that.
I was off the interwebs today for most of the day. Yeah, what people really like this episode, or
Probably
or-
They like
Yeah,
every-
people
they like
loved
every,
it.
Every episode gets high praise. These people can't wait to get the show back. Well, that's all fine and good. I never thought I would be where I am right now, but I don't give a shit if it comes. In fact, I almost hope it. I can't. I don't know if I'm going to
that's
say
not
that.
going to come back. It's
I almost
done.
hope it
It's
doesn't
done.
come
The show
back.
is
No, I
done.
don't know.
I'm predicting it's done.
I'm not sure.
I'm not betting you a Thing statue, maybe a Thing
Oh.
action figure, but
Oh, look, I wouldn't bet against you. You're probably right. I'm just
No.
saying I would not. Now that it's
Yeah.
ruined, I wouldn't be surprised if it does come back. If this season had been sensational. Hey, not
we
even
had
sensational.
we
It
had
had been
four.
a
Would we have
decent
4 good
season.
episodes this
If it had
season?
been decent, I'd be like, yeah, then it's
The
not
first
coming back.
the first episode was probably the best episode, and then
I agree, and that's really the only one I really like. Pop culture curator, hello.
Yeah,
hey,
it's
PCR.
it's crap. It's crap.
Yeah, I mean, the only one I really kind of liked was that first episode, and I can't think of one that I just really liked at all, other than that.
And the previous week was good too. That was a
You
good
know,
episode.
Last week was, I don't know. I guess I think about it was hard. The show was too ruined for me to really get into last week. Again, I like some of the stuff in it. I think the show's been damaged. I don't know about beyond repair, but this week
That would have been a better episode to end the season on. Actually,
yeah.
That's why I was wondering. I'm like,
Yeah.
what are they gonna do this week? And they went for the schmaltzy, easy,
Future unknown,
easy-
whatever the hell
easy-
that means.
I liked
Easy
I
out.
liked Clobby's idea earlier. I think it was Clobby who said it, and I think you may have alluded to the same concept, Mark. And that was this idea of, if that would have been the silent B story, like this idea of using a robot as a replacement for a relationship, as though literally, now I don't want to be vulgar, but I'm just going to say Steely Dan, but we all know what I'm talking about here. Using robots in that way is a huge issue in our society going forward. And I touch upon it more seriously in my writing. But we never touch upon that with the Claire and Isaac story. Very, very cowardly, and it's not science fiction because we never get to deal with that. We never get to deal with the fact that Claire cannot have a real relationship with someone who's a human being who has emotion. And holy mackerel, somebody get her a psychiatrist because she's literally marrying a Steely Dan, literally.
And just because he can take care of her kids and grandkids and great grandkids forever, it's like, that's kind of
so
creepy
it's like
too.
that is creepy.
He's like a servant to them now, or
yes, exactly.
a slave, as the prime
that's right.
With
and
the
so
marriage.
we never deal with these incredibly important issues that we could have a deep philosophical conversations about. So let's leave that B story alone and let's do what you guys said. Okay, so you're too much of a coward to talk about what it's like to use a device to give yourself sexual and emotional gratification rather than a relationship. We won't talk about that, even though you're the one who brought it up, Seth. But let's just leave that alone then. We'll allow you to be a coward. What about this Lysella Rasmussen plot that we could have had that could have been the primary? And then we could have gotten rid of this humiliation of this same-sex couple, that these men of color who are a same-sex couple, graping in the forest like animals. There's a sexual assault going on here, and it's violent. So let's get rid of all that. Why couldn't we just do this whole thing with the tech and how it affects the society? We could have saved
and mix
it.
the Kalons into that somehow too. A good writer could have maybe mixed in something with the interfering with the prime directive. You could have, I'm just tossing things out there, but that, because the Kalon is such a fascinating, species, race. It's really so many stories you could do with them, and they are appearing to me more and more human-like. And we did get that a touch of that with Isaac, but that's Clobbery and I were saying. It's just so unrealistic that Claire would marry Isaac. It just falls so flat.
Yeah.
It could be a novelty, and if they given him the emotion chip, then that would have been much more believable. But he's basically, like you said, this object that's going to be a servant to her because he's the perfect quote unquote mate, other than the lack of him. And the girls have that scene where they're joking about it, like he has no emotion, but he's he'll watch over your kids. He'll do this. He'll never make a mistake. He'll be loyal. But Black Mirror, of course, did it much, much better. The episode where the husband passes away, and then the wife, they get a package, and it's like basically a clone of the husband. And but there's no spark there, no emotion. But she keeps him up in the attic, and he just brings him down for servicing
That's science fiction.
once in a while. But that was a heartbreaking episode because, she thinks it's going to be her husband again, but it's not
What
really
did
her
that do
husband.
to you? May I ask you personally what that did to you when you watched that?
Well, I was thinking about people I've lost and thought, oh God, I wish you could bring them back.
Yeah.
And then by the end of the episode, you're realizing, and that, of course, that relationship was an intimate relationship. I'm just thinking of, relatives you've lost, and you're like, but then when they come back, they're not. It's not really them, even though the robot was supposed to have, their thoughts and memories and speech, and they're actually doing that now, where they can create like a bot of people, quote unquote, like a voice bot. And it's really creepy, and using the Echo device they were saying too. You could have, your someone speaking, but it's not it's not the person, but it's just the collection of nuts and bolts and pieces. But that's a great science fiction thing to think about. That was such a tragic
and
episode.
That's what's really important. That's what science fiction is supposed to do. It's supposed to help us cope with what we are creating and how we react to it and how it could be abused. In my writing, I explore this idea that science now has in real life, that machines may be able to alleviate abuse and violence by being there, a way of helping people to get this, really heinous criminality out of themselves by doing it to a robot. And so, what does this say about us? And I'm very clear in asking my reader that. What is it appropriate that we do this? And this is the engagement we need when we're discussing science fiction. These are the topics we're supposed to discuss in science fiction. Science fiction is not about helping people get married and work out their feelings about being married, and sort of using a science fiction as a way of making fun of these deeper issues because it's all just really potty humor and relationships and crying in hallways and embracing and talking about fifis. That's not what science fiction is. Science fiction is here to be our conscience. It's here to arm us about the future. It's here to engage us in our own power and perhaps our own restraint. Disappointing.
And that's why Black Mirror does so well. And we did have episodes of Orville that did do that too. So it's
not anymore. And I mean, and even in the second season, some of those very small episodes that were like small stories still dealt with science fiction ideas. I mean, and concepts. Even the one with the cell phone. It was dealing with a fascinating concept, the time capsule discovered in the future. Yes, it did it in a humorous way, but it was still well done. A couple of the other ones that were smaller, more introverted stories that season had a lot of character stuff. Apollo Meets Minion and
the pepperoni. So
even in the first couple of seasons, when it was a smaller story filled with humor in it, they did such a much better job. But see, this is an MO of Hollywood there, Raquel. There's nothing new about what they're doing here in terms of you talk about how you're taking a science fiction setting and you're doing things that aren't science fiction with it. Well, they do that with everything. They've done it with superheroes in the CW for 10 years, 15 years. In other words, you have superheroes, but they're still to save money. They're standing around talking in halls. You don't turn into a show like The Flash or one of these shows and want to see that kind of crap. You want to see the guy running fast. You want to see a superhero doing superhero things. So that's not just exclusive to science fiction shows. It's Hollywood. They'll take something and then they'll do their own thing with it. Now, why the first two seasons of this show could be so good and this season could be so bad, I don't know. But you're going to have, because those first two seasons were so good, this is part of human nature. It captured the hearts and minds of so many people. Those people don't want to let it go. I didn't want to either. So they're not going to sit around and see this thing through the objective eye that you do or that I do. They're in love with it. They love just the idea of the show existence is enough. Doesn't matter. The content doesn't matter. They just want it to keep happening. And that's why you're not going to see a lot. You're going to see a lot of these people all over social media. They got 10 episodes of what they wanted back. I wanted it back too. And it doesn't matter because we went 3.5 years waiting for it, and it was so good in those first 2 seasons, it does not matter. The content of this 3rd season does not matter to probably 80% of the fan base. And that is why garbage rewarded could be garbage repeated. Now, it may not come back, but a lot of people are going to be campaigning to bring it back. That's my opinion.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, and I put my figures up again because I added the Flash because CW just announced that the Flash will end next season with a 12
but it lasted
episode
like
run.
12 years, it's a bazillion years. So, look, some people they're not that discriminate. Remember when Harlan Ellison said what you want about the Boo Grabber? He said, he said, a lot of fans are terribly indiscriminate. He was insulting Star Trek fans, but then he insulted fans of everything because he like insulting people. And let's just face it, there are a lot of people that love Star Trek that really don't understand it and will take anything called Star Trek. And there are a lot of people, if they love something, they'll put up with a whole hell of a lot. And they don't like to face the music that it's not good anymore. They can't. I don't like that it's not good anymore. Hello there, Pleasant Valley. Welcome. I don't like that it's ruined. It's been ruined for me. I'm not happy about it. I'm one of the biggest jackasses for this show. I loved the show so much that I wanted it back so much. So I'm not happy.
It was a long wait.
And I never thought, if you told me, look, by the time this is over, the season, this 10 episodes, you will not only not care if it comes back, you will almost be rooting against it coming back. You'll be angry and put out and miserable about it, and you'll almost borderline hate it. And I don't hate it, and I would have said, nah, I'm not, even if it's not, because even if it wasn't very good, I might have been like, yeah, but maybe next season will be better. And I still would hope that it might come back. Right now, I don't even care. In fact, I last night I almost turned it off when I saw that disgusting shit opening with those 2 dudes running through the. What is wrong with you?
The grape scene.
And there's nobody.
The Grapes of Wrath.
There's going to be a lot of people that put up with it. That no matter what they do on that show, it could do no wrong. And that's something I never understood, that mentality, and it has always driven me crazy.
I'm seeing it all over. I'm just going to take the floor here just for a second because Pop Culture Curator said that he says what I say on Jill's show and people attack him for it. And then he follows up by saying to Hungry Boy, yes, I don't know why. It's a double standard. Raquel can say these things and nobody goes after her. Let me just say this. First of all, you shouldn't be saying what I'm saying on another show. I say what I say. And if you're repeating what I'm saying, you should probably cite me. Second of all, I would like to say that there is no double standard. I'm a communications and technology scholar. I've spent the better part of my life in university. I'm still not done edifying myself or educating myself. I'm in a constant state of education in this area. That would make me a subject matter expert in this area. This is my area of expertise, and I have several parchments on my wall in this particular area of study. Perhaps one of the reasons why nobody, quote unquote, goes after me is because I'm able to back up what I say, and they consider the source of the material. So first of all, it's a little weird that you're upset that there's a double standard, that I'm not being attacked. That's rather odd. And second of all, perhaps it's best if you let me speak for myself and allow me to speak as an expert just for myself and not repeat what I say, and certainly not complain that I'm not being attacked for what I say. I stand by what I say, but I'm also educated in what I say, and I'm responsible for what I say. So very odd comments from you, Pop Culture Curator, and these comments are disappointing, to say the least.
Well, I hear you. Excuse me. I hear you, and something happened to my chat.
Well, I guess what Pop Culture is saying, I agree with you, and he's going to. Well, I guess there's a lot of pushback on. There is always, well, when you're an outlier too in life too, there's a lot of pushback when you have a different opinion, but you always should stand up for. Yep. Hey, Oliver. you always should stand up, for your opinion. If you like something, say it, and if you don't like something, say it, and don't go with the you don't go with the, I don't want to say mob mentality. That's the wrong word, but just don't go with the,
Not necessarily.
I mean, I still like, some movie, Shang-Chi. I like some of the scenes in that movie, and I like how some of the Mandarin stuff, although I'll agree it's not the Shang-Chi of comics, but I'm not going to back down from saying, when I like certain things. And, and we joke on the show too about what someone likes or doesn't like, good naturally. But but always my opinion is, if you really feel something, stand up for it. And then if people disagree with you, as long as they're doing it respectfully, attack should never get personal. Yep.
Well, I just wanted to say, look, I don't know. But I'm sure Raquel has been. It's not like you've never been attacked or disagreed with. I mean, I'm sure you have.
Thanks,
I know
boss.
you have. So I don't know about any kind of double standard where that's concerned. I know you don't want anyone going after her pop culture, but I mean, I don't know how you know or that no one goes after her. She gets disagreed with, and she gets harangued about her opinions like everyone does. I mean, if you express an opinion, she's gonna. So. I don't know. I personally don't know who's going after you, but I can't say that Raquel never gets people going after her, quote unquote, or disagree with her. I know we all do, don't we? So I don't think I mean, in that case, there's a double standard, but you're saying it's a misunderstanding. I think she, kind of understands where you're coming from just fine, but, you're more than welcome to have any opinion you want. We don't mind if you express an opinion we disagree with. But I just don't see I don't see the double standard there, because I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Commander, but you get disagreed with all the time, and you've been attacked plenty of times on social media. Is that correct?
Yeah, I do. And, I think that, that everyone has a right to their opinion. And I think that it's cool that, that we have YouTube, and that people feel as though they can, go on social media and have this wonderful conversation where they can express themselves. But it's also important to realize too that there's a big difference between being a scholar in something and using your own name and being involved with this type of broadcasting. And then it's an entirely different scenario if you're a layperson and you have lots of opinions or feelings, and you're coming at this platform as an amateur broadcaster, and also as somebody who's anonymous. I think that maybe that might be a difference there. So, I guess basically what I'm saying is, a pop culture curator, is I understand where you're coming from. I think it's great that you're standing up for your opinions, but certainly comparing your circumstance to mine and sort of, being disappointed by how people receive you. I guess I understand it, but I certainly, I have to be honest with you. I don't appreciate it. Sort of belittles what I've done my entire life. I've built my entire life around this, and I stand by my comments using my real name. So I understand you're getting some pushback. Everybody gets some pushback, but that certainly doesn't mean that you should raise the grievance in our chat and sort of say, hey, I say all the same stuff as Raquel, and people don't go after her the way they attack me, and it's not fair. I don't want to see that kind of stuff in our chat. Sorry, dude.
It's just a weird thing to say, man. I mean, look, you're not being misunderstood. We saw your words and understood them. You can, and again, by the way, good night, Wendy Webb. We love having you here. Thank you.
Good night,
so
Wendy
much.
Webb.
Take care, Wendy.
Good night,
And
Jimmy.
if you're still here, pop culture creator, you're welcome here. You can say things we don't agree with, and if someone takes you to task on it, you're a big boy. You can put up those trousers and you can handle it. And Raquel just expressed a disagreement or what she felt a clarification with what you said, and you don't have to like it, but it's not like you were misunderstood. But hey, all opinions are welcome here, and I don't agree with you either on that, because I know she's been criticizing it like we all have and picked on like we all have. So I know what you're saying in the sense I think he was saying that he doesn't necessarily. He's saying he doesn't copy. He says he just happens to agree with you, and he expresses a lot of the same opinions and gets beat up for it. Well, I'm sure that's true. You get beat up for it, but so do I. People don't like it when you trash anything.
It's true.
So, but he left. I guess,
because people invested in these shows, and
Right.
things that they like, and it's always the if you buy something. I've always noticed too. I do a lot of reading about like cameras
Bye,
or
Snail Messiah, buddy. Good to
computers.
see you.
Good night, Snail.
Sorry.
And like when you buy something that's expensive, you don't want to write a bad review because like you've bought it, right? You bought that thing, and you don't want to put out like a bad review because it's almost the same thing with a TV show because you're invested in the Orville, and you just can't bring yourself to say that this episode maybe I didn't like or didn't like, and it's and then I see that too in reviews where people like Apple products say, for example, they'll never mention anything bad about an
Let me
Apple
get rid of
product.
this thing. We're done with this show.
Yeah.
Yep. And the Apple, like an Apple product that of course they just had the the keyboards were all screwed up on a batch of Mac computers for years. They finally had to didn't admit wrongdoing, but had to settle. Or for example, when you were on your phone on an Apple iPhone, the letters weren't capitalized. They were all caps. I mean, simple, silly. I'm just but people would never. But they love it. And Apple makes great stuff too. But they would never find any faults and things. So it's always tough to be that outlier. And but yeah, Raquel. People do go after Raquel for her opinions, and they should, right? They should challenge it, but go after.
Absolutely.
But go after it. It depends. If as long as you're challenging and being respectful, and I'm not saying you weren't. I'm just saying I love that kind of debate and discussion. Too many times today, things go into personal insults, and if I actually enjoy talking to someone that I disagree with sometimes more
Me too.
than someone I agree with, because then you can have a give and take and go back and forth, and people point out things like, oh, I didn't notice that, or especially Raquel pointed out some of the things like on the Gordon episode with the time travel that I didn't catch, and I was happy to see that, and that's always what's fun when you have a debate. I mean, then that's great.
Well,
but too much with social media, people devolve, and you're not face to face, and it's a lot easier to say something that if you're not in the same room, maybe you'd have the same question, but you'd say it a little bit differently, or people be more civil. So unfortunately on social media.
And it's important for me to say too that I only speak for myself here. I don't speak for Clobby, and I definitely don't speak for Mark, and I don't speak for CLOBBERIN Times. I only speak for myself using my real name. And I should also clarify too that I'm just going to be 100% honest. Pop culture curator got into a huge fight with somebody who is a friend of mine on Twitter. Some things were said that were very adversarial. I'm very loyal to Doomcock. He's a friend of mine. He is somebody with varying opinions. Many times I disagree with him wholeheartedly, and many times I totally agree with him with my whole heart. I've been a guest on his show. I've been friends with him for years. He started following me in 2017, and that's how we became friends. I went over and I gave his video essays a listen, and I thought that what he was doing was intriguing. I thought his format was intriguing, and I care for him. And when somebody is my friend, whether I agree with them or not, I'm loyal to my friend. So I do have to say that I have found Pop Culture Curator finding himself in tangle after tangle on Twitter and on YouTube, and he has to own that, and I don't want to get tangled with him. So I'm sorry if Snail Messiah got a little bit upset, and he left, and I'm sorry that Pop Culture Curator left, but this is from Pop Culture Curator. It's you can't just go into chats and fire up these kinds of conversations, upset people, and then run away. And that's what I saw. And once again, I only speak for myself. So I just wanted to nip it in the bud. DC Doomcock is a friend of mine. And I thought what transpired with him on Twitter with Pop Culture Curator was in bad form, and I'm certainly not going to put up with that crap myself. And I've been seeing a lot of it, and so I said it. Sorry.
So Snail is not happy with he ran out. Is that why he ran out?
Yeah, he's not happy. So what can I do, right?
Hello there, your old toys. Well, I wish I'd have known that was why it was going. I'd have said something. I don't understand what his problem is.
Mm-hmm.
So sorry, everyone. You all had to hear this stuff. I mean, we're going to get away from it, but
let's just get away from it.
I don't understand Why is he friends with Pop Culture Curator or something? Are they buddies or I don't even know.
I don't know, but
understand what
he
his problem is.
yeah, but this
Um,
is the problem with having people who come into the chat and they want to start up personal conversations about, I got attacked here, how come you're not attacked, and all of these things, or I'm
Yeah.
calling you out and saying these sorts of things
Right.
through social media. There has to come a point where the rubber hits the road and you take responsibility for the things you say and do. I don't always agree with Doomcock. I'm going to reiterate that. Sometimes we are diametrically opposed on issues, but he's my friend. I've been a guest on his show, and he's always been kind to me. He is my friend.
He's
And
my friend too. Yeah.
yeah, and I did not like seeing that happening. I've seen it quite a few times, and I just wanted to nip it in the bud, folks. I don't want to constantly have somebody around who's constantly arguing with people. Twice now, Pop Culture Curator has tried to start a fight with Clobby, and I had words with him, and he said it was a misunderstanding. And so now it's Doomcock, it's Clobby a couple of times, and now it's me. And eventually adults have to take responsibility for their own words and their own actions.
Then
And that's all I'm going to say on it.
Well, and then you say you're being misunderstood. That's passive aggressive crap. I don't like it either. But you're welcome to come back anytime. I know he's not hearing this, but if he ever does, or anyone out there knows him, it's always welcome to come and say things, but don't whine if you just get disagreed with. That's the thing I've been that way ever since, well, forever, even before I even had a show. But in the 13 years I've been doing this, all I say, folks, is if you can't take being disagreed with, I'm not for you. Because if I disagree with you, I'm not going to hurt you. I might maybe kid around with you or something and do it in a humorous way. But I promise you, I'm not going to hurt you. But I can't always agree either. And if you can't take being disagreed with, then you're just too big of a China doll anyway, and you're just made of glass. So you're probably not. I'm not a good fit for you, to be honest. So, and
agreed,
anyway,
agreed, Captain.
But I'm so sorry about Snail, my buddy Snail Messiah. I don't know. I don't know what happened, but he's my friend. And he's been a buddy of the show. I did not know he was had a problem with us doing that. But anyway, look, I'm sorry. I love everyone here, and I hope everyone's cool with it. I hope Snail's cool, but you can't please everybody. People get mad at you. They don't even know you sometimes, and that's not how it works. But
also the chat is so tough too. When you're in 200 characters or less,
That's right.
It doesn't make things easier too. So, as my mom always would say, well, back in the day when you wrote letters, she's like, if you're ever pissed at someone, which my mom didn't say pissed, not happy with someone. Thank you, Mom. Write that letter, put it in a drawer, wait a day, and then
Maybe
read that
2
letter.
days.
Yeah, read that letter and see if you would send it. And then if you're still, then maybe you would send it. But that's also, I found that the case too. And so the chat is not easy. That's why it's a lot easier for us to, we got the mic here, but to have to type 200 characters or less, and it's sometimes not the best way. I wish they would make it give us 400 characters maybe, but make it a lot easier for that chat too. So I think that can be part of the problem sometimes too.
Hungry Boy, wow, I mean that's pretty fragile, but it could be it. I mean, I don't know. And Snail's always welcome back. I hope he'll come back. But he said he's mellow and non-mellow as opposed to something specific. Well, I hear you. But when it comes to my philosophy on that kind of stuff is simple with pop culture. Anyone else, don't start nothing, won't be nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't start it up, and again. But anyway, all right. So let's get away from all that stuff, and let's give Hungry Boys some torture. Who's ready for tonight's tripwire?
Hungry Boy, put on your blindfold. Plug your ears, honey.
Sorry, buddy, but it's.
I'm gonna go make
time.
some clam. I'm gonna go make some white clam pizza.
Don't make clam pizza. So gross.
Yes, indeed. Here we go. He wants some tripwire.
Here's one for you, boss, from Chris Persia. 400 characters? Could you imagine how long it would take to read a 10-part review under those conditions?
Why? What's going to happen? What do you mean 400 characters? What do you mean?
No, I was joking about, if you had 400 characters and 200 in the chat. Yeah.
Oh,
Well, then
Oh,
the
I
Esh pick
must
would
have
only be 10 parts. Then it'd be a lot more continuous there, right? Yeah.
Yes. Well, what the hell?
Hungry Boy's ready to barf.
Oh my God, my computer
over the clam
computer's
pizza, or
freezing.
over the
Sorry,
over the tripwire.
are you hearing me?
Yes.
Yep, we hear you. Yep,
Okay,
yep.
We
because
hear you,
my
boss.
computer's frozen. I can't do anything yet. It's just what the.
It's
If
spinning.
it blows up
You have
on
the
me.
spinning wheel of
I'm
death?
spinning, and I got a.
All right, we'll
blurry
just
screen.
we can hear you
Hang
right
on,
now.
hang
Just
on.
wait.
This is wow. I hope that wasn't StreamYards because it took forever just to pull up the share thingy. God.
Hungry Boy
Tripwires.
says barf torpedoes are loaded.
He said,
Kill some.
no tripwire, Morgan. Oh, and pineapple.
Tripwire time.
Uh,
All right.
okay.
The top 100 all-time comic book artists list that we've been chronicling, folks. On Tripwire, we're now at number 27. So it's been a couple of weeks, but 2 weeks ago, number 28 was Howard Chaykin. For those who do not know, let me tell you what the deal is with this. About a year, I don't know how long ago now, a good while back, the website Tripwire, Tripwankage, as a Hungry Boy likes to call it, started a weekly segment which was going to count down the 101 greatest comic book artists of all time. And I mean, well, comics artists, meaning it can be counted as comic strip artists as well. And I've been chronicling it, talking about it, and each week, and once we got up to speed, when we started, it was around 50 something or other, I don't know, 60 something or other. So now that we're up to speed on it, is every time they do one, we take a look at it here on the Clubhouse, and I decide how dumb they are this week and whatever. So, so number 27, Hungry Boy. This is brought to you by Hungry Boy. It's dedicated to Hungry Boy.
Oh, don't. I could hear him groaning from
sorry.
here. The man has his head in his hands. He's groaning right now.
Number 27, Basil Wolverton. Now, again, this is another situation. I think this is going to be a lot of the cases here, Hungry Boy, going forward when we get this high up, is of total respect for the artist, but he doesn't belong that high, or he certainly does not belong above the likes of, Murphy Anderson and Nick Cardy and John Romita freaking Sr. and Gil Kane and George Perez and Alex Toth and John Severin and Jose Luis Garcia Lopez and all these other people. I have every respect for Wolverton. Oh, but apparently Hungry Boy doesn't. So let's look at a little of his work. He does crazy work. He actually worked in the Golden Age, and I respect the hell out of that. It's a weird style. But I know why these idiots did it, because of his really freaky crap he did in the 70s and 80s. I can guarantee you that. So let's see if you're seeing any of that, folks. Okay.
There we go. Weird.
Russ Manning. I don't think Russ Manning's been on the list. If I recall, I'd have to go back and check. I think Russ Manning might have made the list. He should have, actually, but he may not have, Pleasant. I mean, it's only 101 people.
Nice
so
to see, BC.
Yes.
Zacharot.
Zacharot. Hey, Zacharot.
Hey, Zacharot.
The man who never smiled. This is how Hungry Boy feels right now.
Not a Wolverton fan, are you, a Hungry Boy?
Did you see how he's swearing? Barf torpedoes.
Wow. Heidi McDonald's, damn it. Wow, that's good Lord, dude. But I know you're talking about. But that's, yeah, I guess she is. Well, wow. I'm not gonna say it. He really got weird, and I mean, look, it was an interesting artist. He crazy style, especially later. But he did stuff for Mad. I mean, he did a lot of stuff, but he did some sick stuff.
Weird. Yeah. Beautiful Girl of the Month.
Yeah. I loved him on Plop. I love some of this crazy stuff on Plop.
Plop? I don't
Yeah,
even want to
Plop it.
know.
That was a
I don't
Fizz
wanna
Fizz,
know.
oh, what a
It
relief
was
it
a
is.
DC humor magazine. I like Plop.
Plop,
I like
plop,
him. I don't think he
fizz,
belongs.
Oh, what a relief it is.
He doesn't.
He's much better than George
27.
Perez.
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, shh. Shin
What?
kicks. Shin kicks.
Well, according to, you didn't let me
According
finish
to
my
this stupid
sentence.
list.
According to this stupid list.
This terrible tripwire, trip nonsense, trip barf.
Okay, so anyway, that's enough of that nonsense. But
I got something to plop right now, Hungry Boy.
I'm a little shocked that Hungry Boy would be so disrespectful of Basil Littleton. I have respect for him. I mean, he did stuff I couldn't do. He worked in the golden age of comics. It's a niche for himself doing really weird, crazy stuff. He doesn't belong at number 27 on this list, at least not when you have some of those aforementioned gentlemen that I told you about that are way below. I mean, remember, everyone, for those who do not know, or if you're new, this is a list that put freaking Murphy Anderson at 100. It put Jim Aparo at 99. I have no respect for you right there out of the gate. As I keep saying, it put. And it was funny that it put Todd McFarlane at 90, though. That was hilarious. But you got Carl Barks at 92. You got Michael Golden at 88. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Okay. You got Maurice Severin at 81. Go screw yourselves. Jose Luis Garcia Lopez at 79. Get scrubbed. You jerk offs. You've got Nick freaking Cardi at 65, but you got this guy at 27. You've got, oh my God, Reed Crandall. Reed Crandall at 63. Idiots. You've got again, Brian Bowler at 61. You got Alex Toth at 60. You're morons. I'm going to do this every week to you, you idiots. You've got John frickin' Romita at 56. You've got Gil Kane at 54. You've got George Perez.
Yeah.
What number was
Crazy.
George Perez?
George
46.
Perez at 46.
Yeah, that's inconceivable.
Can't take you
Inconceivable.
seriously. We know who you're going to put at number one. Or you better put at number one. But
Stan Lee?
you got yeah, he was a great artist.
Oh,
I'm just trying to get Clobby's blood
right?
pressure. I'm sorry.
Just totally goading them.
Yeah, like
We've
a
had
club.
enough goading for one
You
evening.
got the
I'm
rant going.
I'm
I
8
figure
years
I'd
old.
keep
That's
it
really
going.
going to get me. Yeah. Yeah, before Perez. So what do I know?
Pop Culture Republic is just disgusted. This guy before Perez?
It's great. It's great.
Hey, I'm not maligning you there, buddy. You know that. Oh,
He loves
No.
it. He loves it.
yeah, no.
And he follows it
Uh,
up with this, boss. Did you see this? Look at this.
What? Plopping here. 26 to go. And when we finally get to the end of it, oh man, when we get in that top 10, it's gonna Hungry Boy, you're gonna have to. I'm gonna have to like probably I don't know, send you some, I don't know, something to calm you down, some your nerves down or something. When we get to the friggin' top 10. Jesus Christ Almighty, it's pretty bad, pretty dumb. So, what you gonna do? But at least it's Jack Kirby month, folks.
It is.
It is, and
Yeah.
Which is exciting for everyone out in YouTube land because it means the boss, the captain, the grand poobah of all geeks is going to be talking Kirby. And
Much as I
people are
can.
going to be able to celebrate. They're going to learn. They're going to share. This is going to be fun.
as much as I
Yeah.
possibly can. Anyway, we will have one thing I do know coming up. You want to do it next week after next? Mark, since you're busy.
Yeah,
next
that's
week.
probably that's probably better.
Okay.
Yeah, it'd work out better.
A
Yeah,
week
yeah.
from this Monday on Monday Night Mark C Comics Talk. Mark and I will review the greatest Jack Kirby comic of all time. Ooh,
Yeah.
that's a tough statement, I know.
And Hungry Boy says the Clobberoni now needs a plopperoni. We'll let you draw that one. Yeah.
Um,
No.
This is
All-time great. Yep.
Fantastic Four,
Beautiful.
number 51. This monster. Now I
I've
have
got
the
that.
poster you gave me has the splash page. Of course.
Yep.
I should have pulled up the splash page. I'll go get it. But anyway, yeah. So we'll review that because of a classic CLOBBERIN classic comics review. But in the meantime, of course, August is and always shall be Jack Kirby month, and I'll avoid doing some of the same things I did last year by doing a few different things. And on his birthday, by the way, we will celebrate another great creator on the 19th. That's that would be the great Gene Roddenberry.
Yep.
And somebody else I know.
Who 19th? Who?
We have a birthday coming up for you.
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes,
I
I
don't
don't know
have.
what you're talking
That's not
about.
true. But
I don't know
No.
what you're talking about.
no, my birthday's in February.
It is not.
Yeah,
No, it's not.
it's February 31st.
That's
It
not,
is
not what it
not.
says on Facebook.
Everyone,
That's a lie.
line
Claude will
up
tell us when your birthday
super
is.
chats to
31st.
give him presents and lots of gifts and fun things. And I'm gonna duck underneath
Action
the desk
figures.
now because he's gonna start throwing
The,
stuff at me.
The
The
19th.
boss's birthday soon.
Gene Roddenberry's birthday lands. Somebody will get the bots. Don't worry about it. Well, lands on the 19th, which is is it on the 19th, which lands on a Friday, but that the night before that on the Clubhouse we'll definitely celebrate that. And Jack's birthday this year lands on a damn a Saturday again. Wow, that's strange. No, Sunday. Oh man, a Sunday. But I'll do a special Sunday show for that
Yay!
because I got to.
I got to.
Oh.
That's to know.
I got to know. So yeah. And anyway, but
Nirot says, "Is there a PO box? Is there
No.
a PO box?" Nirot, I love you.
I have none. I have no. There's not even a box.
It's a man who will not accept any type
But
Yeah.
thank you for that.
presents, gifts, anything. We have to send it to him, and like we basically have to threaten him. Like we're sending it, whether you want it or not. You have to take it.
Go to your mailbox today. There's something showing up. Yeah.
We
Because if you
actually
tell them
have
ahead
to
of
do
time,
that.
if you tell them ahead of time, they'll reroute it. But
He
actually, I
will.
was looking it up. You can actually send people in the mail. You can send it to a post office for pickup, which is something I didn't realize you could do. Because Raquel was saying about in Canada, you have
In
a PO.
Canada, we do that.
You can do that, but actually, there's a way to do it in the U.S. where you can actually send to the closest post office and have a person pick it up.
And
So that's an
CLOBBY'S
option
is
too.
close to him. He has an open post office where he can get his mail.
Well, there are post office all over the place, but I have no use for a post office box.
No, it's not a post office
No.
box, but you can actually send to, like, say, I lived in
Yeah.
Oshkosh. You could send mail to Oshkosh
That's right.
and my name and Mark, and
Yeah.
then you can
So
go
why do
there and
people
pick
get
it up.
post office boxes then?
Well, because it's more convenient, I guess, and you don't have to,
Okay.
it's much
Yeah,
easier.
but it doesn't make sense. But yeah, you can send it. I think in like years past, back when people used to still use checks at the grocery store and things like that, you could still send things general delivery. And so I think that it might be a throwback from that.
I got
But
you.
yeah, you can send things to
Actually-
CLOBBY'S nearest post office.
But you still need my address, and I don't have one. See, I live under an overpass. And,
No, he's
that's why you hear it.
lying.
that noise in the background, that is cars. When I have it, this pretty good mic, but you can't hear it as much. But I happen to live under it. So I turn the mic, and yeah, but it's a nice overpass.
Minimus, behave yourself. Your agonizer, please. No,
Your club.
Minimus is not giving out CLOBBY'S address. However, if you would like to send CLOBBY something for his birthday, please let me know, because
It's,
our chief engineer, he helps me arrange stuff like this. So he can't take no for an answer. So if you would genuinely like to send the boss, the captain, the great CLOBBY a gift for his birthday, let me know, because I will hook you up with the chief engineer and we will arrange it.
It's an idle threat. No one, you can't PM him on the. You can't PM anyway. You don't have a PM here.
It's
Right?
true.
Yeah.
Minimus.
So,
A DM.
you can't DM
Yeah,
somebody
no.
on YouTube.
Not on
Look at this.
YouTube,
Look at
yeah.
this. Clam pizza is the tripwire of pizzas.
Now pop culture's back. Look, we don't want to get into these arguments anymore, pop culture. You said you called him out. When you call somebody out, you reap a whirlwind, man. Everyone's going after you. I saw the whole argument. I didn't participate in it. So I understand what you asked him, and he understands it. How he responded to you is none of my business. I didn't involve myself in it. But when you call somebody out, they're going to respond negatively, or at least to you. They're not going to be particularly interested in politeness. They're just going to strike back. So right or wrong, you guys had an argument, but you did use the term calling you out.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you're back. But, we kept talking about you, but we were trying to say we don't always agree, and we understand that you don't agree with things we're saying here. You're always welcome no matter what. And we talked about a little bit about what went on with Doomcock. Raquel mentioned it. But that's really not my concern. So I don't want to, I'm just going to continue with the show, but I'll just say this. You guys had a dust up, and they all went after you when you went after Doomcock. And, hey, hopefully it's over. That thing went dead, then it went back up again. And they all went after you. When you go after a guy who has a big following and a lot of friends, they're going to go after you, man. So I don't know what to tell you. I'm not responsible for what happened. I got tagged in it, but I didn't participate.
Yeah.
And Doomcock's my friend.
Yeah.
And he can handle himself. I'm just saying. The reason why he argued with you, and yes, they got all over you, is because you did use the term calling you out.
Yeah.
You do that. Hey, and again, that's not even a defense of him. I'm not defending anybody. He didn't need me to defend him. But when you say look, last statement on this. You said I agree with you guys. I keep getting words twisted. I'm not twisting any words. You said call it. Didn't your original suit say calling you out?
Yeah. I'm calling you out.
You said I'm calling you out.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
And pop culture curator, you have to take responsibility for your words. A couple of times you've tried to go after Clobby and double down, sort of sounding kind of rude, and then you kind of say rude things to me, and then you automatically start saying, oh, you misunderstand me. This is a misunderstanding. You're twisting my words. That's not what I said. But that seems to be happening with lots of people. Like it happened with Doomcock. Evidently now it's happened with Clobby a couple of times. I've watched it. I didn't really say anything. I tried to be nice to you about it. And then saying all this weird stuff and bringing all this negativity into our chat tonight with regard to the fact that you're saying that you always say everything I say, but that people push back against you and don't push back against me. It seems to me that sometimes you say things that are really offensive to people, and you're an antagonizer, and then you regret it. So you just tell the person that they misunderstood you, and you have to own what you say, honey. You have to own what you say, and you have to own the way that you make people react to you through your negativity and through the things you say that sound accusatory. And that's all I'm going to say. I think you're a nice person. I enjoy your company, but sometimes you do get like that, and you have to take responsibility for that, my friend.
Well, Rough Girl.
Hey, Rough Girl.
Hey, thank you for the $4.99 super chat. Congratulations. Oh, we love you. Well, I love you too. Thank you so much. I don't know what the congratulations for, but I'll take it because. Well, wait a minute. I do know
pre-birthday.
I don't have birthdays. They're making that up. But I will take the congratulations for having such a lovely person as you showing up with me to see me, Rough Girl, and I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. Beautiful lady, you were too kind.
Very kind.
All I'm saying, look, pop culture, dude, you should probably just let it go. I understand you don't think you're being understood. But you got to say, I will tell you this. Guy like Doomcock, as you can imagine, gets a lot of people attacking him all the time. And when someone says, I'm calling you out, whether you agree with them or not, and you said you just asked him a question. You could have asked it in a lot of better way. You used calling out. And he didn't like it. And he responded in a way you didn't like. and now you regret antagonizing. Well, you didn't upset me, but antagonizer. That's what Raquel said. I mean, look,
That's my word, not the boss's.
Yeah. But
I'm just saying, sometimes you say things. I have watched you now in 4 or 5 separate conversations where you've said things to people other than me, and me included in the 5, but 4 other conversations where you've said things. When people respond to you, you say, look, I regret talking at all. You don't understand what I'm saying. You don't understand my meaning, blah, 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 blah. And you have to, for me, I would like you to take responsibility for the things you say instead of saying, no, that's not what I meant. Every time you try and take someone to task, like when you said to Doomcock, hey, dude, I'm calling you out in front of the whole internet. And then you turned around and said to him, hey, man, I'm not calling you out. What's your problem with me anyway? And, I'm paraphrasing, but this is exactly what happened. And everybody watched it. So just own it and let it go. And I don't appreciate you bringing negativity into our chat. I really don't, dude.
Good night, just Chris Persia. And yeah, look.
And happy birthday to Chris Persia's dad. Yeah. He's making a surprise breakfast for him.
What?
Oh wow, cool. Happy birthday. Yeah, absolutely.
That's great. Please tell him that we said happy birthday. Chris, I love you so much. Thank you for everything tonight. Mwah, mwah, mwah. I'm sending billions of kisses for your face and for your dad's face too. Please tell your dad that we all wish him a very happy birthday.
And and pop culture, that's the end of it here, as far as I'm concerned. I know we're just going to have to agree to disagree. You felt like you're wronged. I'm sorry, but we're done with that. I don't really appreciate you bringing it up in the chat, but you did. We dealt with it. You don't like what we said. I get you. That's okay. I don't care. That's fine. We were honest with you. We tried to be as friendly as possible, and that's that. And I hope everyone listening doesn't. I apologize to everyone listening for the show going that way. I don't like this kind of. I don't want any conflict on the show, and it never should have happened. And it's my fault. So it's gone. It's over. And pop culture you can say anything you want, dude. And you pop in anytime. But that's that. And let's finish up the show tonight because we've got plenty of time. Talk about something fun. Let's get back into a good mood.
Oh, my friend just tweeted that he just picked up the Superman Superpowers figure that's out.
A buddy of mine got those.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool news.
Kalel says, on hopefully brighter note, I found an article ranking Jack Kirby's greatest Superman covers. May I post a link to the chat? Sure, please do. Superman covers. He didn't really. He did some on Superpowers. He did some Jimmy Olsen. That I want to see because he didn't do Superman a lot, and they used to cut his faces off and let Murphy Anderson and Kurt Swan and Kurt Schaffenberger redraw his faces. So I would like to see that, please. There's a link in the chat right there. Oh, by the way,
I think Apollome's Minion is asking for my PO box. Mark, I can give you my PO box, or Clobby, whomever is in contact with Apollome's Minion. And I just want to say, Apollome's Minion, that's incredibly generous.
Okay, yeah,
of you.
Give it to me or Mark.
I love your beautiful art, and I think that you are such a sweet person for sending out these beautiful gifts to everyone. Your handicrafts, your hard work, and I just think that you're just a very, very sweet person. And thank you very much. I would be honored to receive this picture that you've made for me, and I bet you it's terrific.
That's I've seen some of those photos or that stuff. It's amazing. Yep. I'm sorry, Clobberin Times, what are you saying?
Chief engineer, you've dropped the ball again, and I almost forgot the poll. I can't believe you let me forget that.
We weren't ending the show yet. And Jill's not here. She's the communications officer, right?
We ended talking about the Orville. So anyway,
we did end up. Okay,
Okay, here's our poll. The poll tonight, folks, was, what did you think of the Orville's season finale? In first place it was meh, with 38%.
Woo!
Wow.
In second place is liked it at 29%.
That was my vote.
In third place, and I tried to be nice instead of hated it or whatever, I put didn't like it at 19%, and in last place loved it at 12%. So not a very highly, at least around these parts, highly loved episode. I'm clicking on that link you sent, Kal-El.
I'm clicking on the poll. I want to go see this poll with my own eyes. It's crazy.
I probably would change my vote. It was men now after Raquel's pointed some things out. But initially I voted I liked it.
I'll go with men.
I consider it like a hard. Yeah, I'm more of a. I can't change my vote, but yeah, I mean, I did kind of like it initially, but then you did point out some good things, and it was an inconsistent episode. But I gave it more of a slack just because, hey, we're trying to wrap up the series on a fun note, but they should have, could have done something much better. But yeah.
Well, that's a lot.
That's pretty. But that didn't like it. So we got 12% loved it. So Jill's not here to do the math for me. At 31 votes. But wow, that's pretty bad. That's pretty negative rating there. Yep.
Half didn't like it at all.
One final thing I want to say before we get back on the track of theirs. Pop Culture said he didn't bring up Doomcock. I know you didn't. We did. But he also put in there my apologies. No apologies necessary on my end. It was a rough go of it, and as far as I'm concerned, we can be done with it, and it's over. It never has to happen again. I don't hold grudges, and I don't stay angry whether we disagree or not. And I understand it's tougher being in the chat than being on the air. So when you have a disagreement, I understand that.
So true,
but it's over as far as I'm concerned. And you, again, I hope you're hearing that.
We're all good.
I hope you're fine.
Yeah.
And again, look, one day if there's ever a chance to talk about it with you on your channel, or if you got one or whatever, I'd be happy to come talk to you about stuff one of these days. But right now, just wanted to get past that. Thank you. So let me see this little list you got there, Kal-El. Am I going to blow a gasket or what?
No, you wouldn't blow too many gaskets tonight, right?
Well, let's see. Jack Kirby's greatest Superman covers. I'll be the judge of that little website.
Yeah, I'll be the judge of that.
Because he never really did Superman. I mean, he did.
Well, that's pretty cool. That's a nice cover. Yeah.
That's not a cover.
Oh, see, what do I know?
That was a pinup he did in Superman 400.
It is nice, though.
Yeah, but yep. We'll see. But he usually did it on.
So they see they're on the wrong track already. They did.
They got it at number one. Wait a minute. Oh, that is number one. Great Superman covers by Jack Kirby. First of all, that is not a cover.
See?
Jesus Christ!
It
should say drawings.
Gasket blown.
Pinup in Superman number 400. For God's sake! All right.
And they actually say it there. They do say Superman 400 pinup right in the right
so
under.
It's not a cover.
Oh boy.
And they pick it as a cover.
Holy
yep.
Shit! What are you imbeciles? Okay. This is a great cover on Jimmy Olsen 133. His first, but the problem is he didn't draw the face. They replaced the face. Murphy Anderson or Kurt Swan, one of them. That's what they were doing. They didn't like the way Kirby drew Superman's face, the jackasses. And it wasn't Julius Schwartz's fault necessarily. I mean, again, I'm not going to start blaming anybody about it because I like it. But idiots.
What did Kirby say about that?
He didn't like it. Pissed him off. In fact, I think they did a later trade of one of those Jimmy Olsen's where they put the faces back on it.
Oh, they had the original art.
I think they did. I have to ask Minimus if I'm remembering it right. But okay. This one, again, great cover. Neil Adams did the face on this one. But still, yeah, great cover. Okay, that I'll allow it so far. I mean, not in place, but yeah, this is one of the great ones. Even though this one they didn't mess with the face too much, but they still had it re-inked. So all these none of these have Superman's face on it. I mean, Kirby's face on Superman. That was by Kurtz. That's also by Adam. Sorry. There's the one with Don Rickles. That's a good cover.
Oh,
I think that's a Schaffenberger face.
I love Don Rickles.
No, hey, Kal-El, don't you apologize, dude. I'm glad I love seeing this, man. You kidding me? You know I like to bitch about stuff.
Look at the sweet thing he puts. He goes, "My apologies. I'll get my cape."
You know I like to bitch, dude.
Oh, I love it.
You know
I'll get my cape. I love you, Stephen M.
I would be happy to join you sometime there, Pop Culture. I stream so much now, I don't know when I'll ever get a chance to even. I'm lucky I get to do my own streams, but yeah, look, live and let live, I say. I love this is one of my favorite covers. Again, Adams did the inking on it in the background, and they took Jack's face off of it. That's only my problem with these covers. I still love these covers, but like I said, I knew they were only gonna be able to find Fourth World stuff. There's a Forever People cover. That's again has the great Jack background. So they're all great covers because they're Kirby covers, of course. So I knew they'd be all Jimmy Olsen or at least a Forever People there. Oh, this is one of my favorites right here.
That's a gooder.
I love it when you use Canadianisms. It's so wonderful.
You've rubbed off on me. Yeah.
Okay.
I love it.
So I thought they might use the superpowers one or something. Now, those are all work. Those all work. The thing is, your number one is not a cover.
I really like that pinup though. That's great.
The best cover isn't a cover.
Right.
That's why the boss doesn't like it, because the captain says, it's not a cover. It ain't a cover.
Yep. Yes, indeed. Don Rickles was fantastic.
Yeah.
So
what kind of grade at university would you get if you submitted a research paper with the top 10 Kirby covers and you cite that the number one piece of art is a pinup and not a cover? Would that would get you like a D- at least, or what?
No, I might actually send it back to the student, and I would ask the student to show me through in-text citation when the pinup was used as a cover. And if they couldn't provide that, then I would definitely have to dock a whole bunch of marks.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
What's the best stew you've ever had? The best stew I've ever had is Chinese food. Sorry. Right?
I like Chinese food.
Yes. Chinese food is terrific, but it's not stew. And so, yes, you should not be using a pinup as an example of the best cover.
So you're saying Chinese don't mix stew?
I don't think they do.
That's not what I'm saying.
I want some sweet sour chicken.
A sweet sour chicken is really good, actually.
See, you know how picky I am, so you can imagine there's only like 2 things I eat that are Chinese, or any other thing for that matter.
And you just pick things up, or things out of it? Pick out all the green stuff, right?
You want to hear what I do with my Chinese food?
What?
Because you're going to laugh at me.
You eat it.
So before that, though.
What?
First of all, it's taken me forever to find a decent one around here again.
Mm-hmm.
So I got one. It's pretty good. I know this is a non-PC thing to say, but it's called the Oriental Pearl, and no, they call themselves that. Anyway, now they've gotten to the point where they know who I am going to go when I order them, but I love sweet and sour chicken. I always get the same thing, but when I order my pork fried rice with it, the combo, I have to get it with I hate when you go like to the buffet or whatever, and they got that rice and they got peas and
peas in the rice. I knew
and onions.
They got the so green stuff in the rice.
They're so nice. They don't. When I order, if I ask them to, they don't. They get it completely with just pork fried rice and the eggs. The pork, the rice, and the eggs, and they take all that crap out of there. No damn carrots or peas. One time I forgot. It was so mad.
No damn peas.
I just spent like 20 minutes taking that crap out.
Especially when it's the rice, it's really tough to pull out with the chopsticks too, right?
What I do to the egg roll is going to make you laugh.
What do you do to the egg roll? I'm so.
I love that shell, but I don't want all that crap in there. It's horrible. So I hollow it out, and I put a couple pieces of
hot dog
chicken.
in it.
No, put chicken in there, and
You take out the cabbage and the carrot.
And when I'm at a restaurant and doing that, people are like, "What in the hell are you doing?
Oh
you want your egg roll?" I said, "Why would you pay for an egg roll if you're not going to eat it?" I am going to eat it, but I got to get that garbage out of there. And,
get the garbage
oh my
out of
God.
It's got stringy crap in there and shrimp sometimes.
Green stuff.
It's got shrimp and crap in there and veggies.
Oh my God!
That crap.
I gotta get
I disagree with I like Oriental Pearl better than China one. So yeah, what's wrong with that? That's the best way to eat an egg roll.
Oh my God! I gotta you gotta do a YouTube video on that, like Clobby eats an egg roll.
Yeah, that would be hysterical.
Or
like
eggs
cuts
in
the
there?
end off of it, guts it, stuffs it with chicken, and eats it.
Yeah, I stuff it with the pieces of chicken and that sweet and sour stuff. Man, oh man, Oriental Pearl's really good. China one's okay. I don't know. They sell it. They have that dumb yellow rice. I can't stand it.
I love the yellow rice.
Golden rice.
I don't know. It's called yellow rice.
Oh,
Or the brown rice, or whatever. Maybe it's the brown rice they call it. But I like the normal fried rice.
I like yellow Spanish rice. The yellow.
We got a place
yellow
called
rice,
called the Grand Wall that I really love the buffet on that one. But damn it, you remember? Stop making. Let me.
Well, you know, you got Clobby. You got to order. You ever had a pan-fried scallion pancake?
No,
Because that's kind of what the egg roll is. The outside of the egg roll. You ever have scallion pancakes?
I'm going back to geek stuff. I don't need to be hungry because we got.
No, but scallion pancakes are where you might like those. You don't have to take out all the stuff in the middle.
It is my fault.
It's a deep fried thing. Try the scallion pancakes. You might like them.
I do buy
hell no.
those
No way.
those spring roll wraps, and I do put different things in them that you would like, Clobby. I actually do one that is that I put a red pepper aioli and cream cheese in, and then I deep fry it. And I know you would like that because it doesn't have any offensive green things in it.
Yeah, see here, I'll show you a picture of scallion pancakes. You'll like
Yep.
this, Clobby.
Yes, Cal. All this bean sprout crap and these stringy, wiry, stringy stuff.
Yeah. Exactly,
In egg rolls, it's bean sprouts, carrots, cabbage, and sometimes very thinly shaved bok choy. Yeah, those are
Why don't we go
green
back to
onion
food?
cakes.
I got to talk about Kirby. You guys are starting with the food crap.
Yeah, see, scallion pancake. You would
I
like them,
started.
Clobberin Times. Try
I
them
don't
next
know about
time.
all that. What's
Yeah,
in there?
try them. There's no green
it's got
stuff
green
in them.
stuff
They're like,
in it. He will
No,
not eat things
no,
with green
but
things in
then
it.
what?
I'm not.
No,
doing
when
it.
I make
don't
when
trust you.
people make them here, we
You
don't
don't-
have any green stuff. It's just
I
the
don't
bread.
trust
It's just the
people who eat
bread.
clam
I love
pizza.
you, Mark, but you once proposed a white clam pizza to us.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
when you
you-
come
you
to
lost
visit,
Clobby's
I'm gonna
trust.
take you to Sally's, and you won't believe how good the pizza is there. You'll be like, "This is the best pizza we've ever had." Frank Sinatra can't be wrong, right? Come on.
If we go live with Clobby, we're gonna get scurvy.
Oh, yeah? I don't have any, but okay.
Pulling
I can
out
find
the-
you some. It is Louisiana.
Yeah.
Oh, so funny.
Scurvy.
Oh, and here's the Superman pinup while I'm here. That because
Yeah, that's the pinup. Yeah.
because they clipped it on that stupid article. So here, see how cool this is with the space shuttle there,
That's
and
a very
Actually,
thoughtful thing to
I don't
do,
think
Mark.
he's a fit for Kirby. He did that as a tribute for the 4th. But at that time, he was very old. I never thought he was. Just to see him do Soups once, but he was not really the artist for Superman. It's more like the Marvel characters, but still, I'd like to see him do one.
Yeah.
I love it. I would love to have a big old frame on that one. That was incredible.
and that's his face there on Superman. Right? That's
Oh yeah,
his-
by then they
that's-
let him do his own damn face. Of
they
course.
let him-
Terry Austin inked it, so that helps.
yeah, there we go. Yep.
The great Terry Austin, probably the greatest comic book inker of all time. I mean, or certainly, what I know, Hungry Boy's going to agree with me on that one. So very nice, thank you. Cool.
But
I
this
have
is
that- I have
because
that, of course.
they
I got that.
clipped that. You got that? Yep.
Well,
They must
that's
have made that.
Superman
must have
400.
They must have printed that as a poster. Yeah.
No,
And
they
then
didn't. I don't
here's
think they did.
the picture of Superman, the new
Yeah.
superpowers.
Well, I was
And
looking for those. You can't find. They're not. They're like $10. So ain't bad.
they're unobtainium. Oh, $10. Oh.
Oh, Buddy Wayne got them, and he got the Batwing too, by the way.
Oh, I want the Batwing. I want the
Better go
super
looking.
vehicle too. So there's my
Better go
friend's
looking.
got he's got the original, and then
Oh,
he's
wow.
got the and he's got
Look how
the.
the original didn't faded that bad either.
That's a nice one. Yeah, it's in good shape. Yep. He's a big Superman fan.
It's great
fan.
having him on the card.
Pleasant Valley Picker, BC, I love you. He says, I just put my frozen beets in the oven. Have to get up at 6:30 for work. Please don't show clam pizza. I need
No
to
more
eat."
pizza. No more food tonight, folks. Fine. If he sells any more food, I'm gonna start eating some crappy chips that I have here, and they're not good.
I might have to. I might
like
have to
the
put
tape.
my microphone on mute and go and grab a snack.
Go for it. We will wait.
No, I'm not doing
Look at the
that.
capes, dude.
Yeah,
That
well,
cape-
this is the
cape
new.
Looks nothing like the old cape. I mean, I like
Nothing.
it, but
Well, the old cape
actually,
was
the
too
sculpt's
short.
not the same either. Look at
It
it.
is different. Look at
I
the
like
the
it.
ribs.
But it's different, and I want it
The belt.
if I could find it. But
Yeah.
I love the packaging and the art, Hungry Boy. Yeah, the art and the package by Garcia Lopez. It's got the classic packaging.
Yeah.
And the Kirby logo.
So I don't know if I want to take it out because then I maybe have to buy two, one in,
Oh, you
one
have it?
out. Well, no, I have the originals. I gotta find my originals. I don't know where they are. They're in,
They're in
they're
good
in toys in the attic.
Those
They
are
were
probably the
pretty good
greatest
shape
toy
'cause I
line
never-
of superhero
I
toy
never
line
played
ever.
with them. I never played with them. I just put them on the shelf and well, no, but but kids like my Migos,
Yeah,
that's what I meant.
You know what? You swerved into talking Kirby because this is Kirby because he
Kirby, right?
designed the line, yeah.
And he got money for it.
And he
The
did the comic.
residuals.
Yeah, see, they did in the 80s. As much as I just revile most of DC and a lot of people, it was very nice that they decided to throw Kirby a bone and let him design this toy line and let him do the comic books based, the comic book tie-ins of the toy line, which of course he did 2 different series, Superpower. So that was nice. So yeah, this is Kirby stuff here, even though the art on the box is Garcia Lopez.
Who was ranked
Oliver,
number 1 in that stupid tripwire? Yeah, way too
Oliver
low. Yeah.
Belamonte. Hey, good to see Oliver. Asks, yes, we're all sad about that, Oliver. With Raquel as a fan of Nichelle Nichols playing Untitled Uhura, which was your favorite Uhura episodic moment in Star Trek? Universal racial kiss, or playing her stepchildren, or her sing and dance in? Well, she didn't dance in Charlie X, I believe, but she sang, didn't she? So, or what is your? Do you have a favorite Uhura moment?
I do. I have 2 favorite Uhura moments, and they actually helped me to go into communications and technology. And they both center around when the panel malfunctions, and she says, "I just rewired that panel myself a few seconds ago." And also when Spock says there is no one better at wiring the computers or rewiring the computers on the Enterprise. There's no one better
Who mourns
than
for
her.
and Adonis.
Yeah. So those are my 2 favorite moments. Those were like the moments that made me start thinking to myself, okay, I'm not sure if I want to be an astronaut, but I really like this comm tech thing. I think this is really cool. And she's really beautiful. She's very feminine. She's very sexy. I always wanted jade earrings. Of course, jade is very expensive, or at least was when I was growing up in the 70s. So those are the 2 favorite moments when I realized, like, she's 4th in charge. This woman is, she's a communications engineer. She's an astronaut. She's marvelous. And that's also why I always get like really upset when people think that she's Hoshi Sato and that she's like some sort of a linguist. She's not a linguist. And, but anyway, yeah, I love her. And I do have to say that I am profoundly saddened by her loss. She was even, at one point, she was even working for NASA, recruiting new astronauts. And she's just smart, beautiful, fun, role model for young women everywhere. And certainly like an icon of my childhood and a role model for me as a woman. I love her very much. And obviously you've heard me say this before, but yeah, I'm heartbroken. I think our world is poor. It's not as fun of a place. It isn't as special of a place now that she's gone. She was magic.
Pleasant Valley, I love that scene in Mirror Mirror with her. That is great. She was really great at that one.
Yep.
I mean, if I had to pick one, that might be one of mine. That one or the scene in Star Trek 3 with Mr. Adventure. She didn't get to do much to do in that film, but that was good.
Get in the closet.
Get in, this was fantasy. You want an adventure? How's this? I loved her. That was great. She didn't get much to do in that film, unfortunately, but so she was terrific. She was it would have been nice she got to at least shine a little bit in an animated episode. I know that's just an animated episode, but she got to sign in Mirror Mirror and shine in Mirror Mirror as well.
Lorelei Signal.
So, yep. And it's a shame she didn't get to do more, but she still did so much. I mean, maybe not in episodes, but she did a lot for everybody, and it is sad. No question.
She's the only Uhura. I would just like to say that Uhura isn't a costume. And so I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what anybody thinks. I don't care what anybody feels. Uhura is not a costume. And there's only one. Nichelle Nichols. That character lived and died with her, and there are no others, except no substitutes. She was magic, and an icon and a role model for young women like me everywhere. I love her, and she is sorely missed.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yep. Yes, indeed. So we only have 3 left now. And it's a strange. I mean, I know it's, almost a 60-year-old show, but it is a strange thing, that, wow. I mean, there are a lot of classic TV shows where almost no one's left. So, I mean, that's not really unusual, but yeah. So I'm hopefully can only hope that she led a wonderful. I mean, life. I know we heard some things about that maybe went on with her that wasn't so great toward the end of her life. Things I've heard about, but I don't know much about that. But we've heard some things that I hope are true. But,
yeah, it's just the elder abuse allegation. So hopefully that's
allegations.
That's really scary because she was a truth
stuff.
teller. Like she was a truth teller. Like when people ask me, oh, like when you're going through your source material, who do you trust? And I remember telling Clobby very early on that she is one of the people who I trust when it comes to getting information about TOS, because she never lied. And she also told stories from an objective point of view. And that is something that always made me trust her. She was just marvelous. And I also love how adamant she was, even though she was such a soft-spoken, sexy, demure woman, how adamant she became when people would say stuff about Gene Roddenberry and just say things like, oh, he didn't want any conflict on the show, or, oh, he had this super utopian dream where nobody was allowed to be wrong or bad, or there was, that was unattainable. And she was quick to say, he never said any of that. What he said is that we should aspire to those things. And so we shouldn't try to like glorify strife and unfortunate things, and that we should always be pushing the show towards things that draw people together, that make people want to be a better version of themselves tomorrow, that make people want to edify themselves, make people want to go out and get an education and be civically engaged and be kind. She corrected people. She was like, I don't know, that's not what he said at all. And it's so funny because you see all these people like Michael Pillar and Brennan Braga and all these people who are involved. They try and make Gene Roddenberry look so extreme. And it's to sort of make him look like a fusspot or a ninny, like so they can do whatever they want with his IP. And I just love the way that Nichelle used to correct people. And it's funny because on the Roddenberry Instagram, they actually put out a quote about that. Like they were quoting Nichelle just right after she passed away, saying, "Oh no, you're trying to make Gene Roddenberry look too extreme. It wasn't that extreme at all. What he was saying is, let's aspire, let's hope, let's dream, let's reach. Don't try and make it seem like he's just some sort of silly heart. He's some sort of impossible dreamer telling you to believe something that's unattainable, and it's dumb to watch that." And so, anyway, I love her. She always told the truth. She was always kind. She always had an objective opinion. She was sexy as hell. She made little girls know that they could be astronauts. They could be engineers. They could be the top of their field. They could be fourth in charge on a starship in outer space as an astronaut when women weren't even allowed in the military. That's a big deal for a little girl like me growing up in the 1970s. So, yeah, I just love her. I love everything that she represents. You can't underestimate her mark on popular culture. She is a big one. She's a big. She's a titan, and we're going to be lesser people without her.
Yeah, real trailblazers and clobbering times, and I got to talk a lot on my Sunday night show. probably the day after that she had passed. But that's one thing we'd also mention too. How iconic that role was and how important it was in the story of Martin Luther King saying that you should stay in that role. And back then as a kid, I was youngin watching Star Trek, and to me that was just you would just have minority characters on the bridge. You'd have a woman and on the bridge as a an equal to the other officers, and an Asian on the bridge. Then they added a Russian, and then you had all kinds of minorities. But as a kid, I never you didn't notice it because that was Gene's vision of the future, the world that we wanted to reach, where everyone was just judged by on their merits, and you were nothing, that you wouldn't be held back because of what you look like. So and hey, Cardinal Sin,
thank you for the $9.99 super sticker, buddy. You're too kind. Thank you, sir. Sorry about
Yay,
that.
Cardi!
Thanks, Cardi.
Thank you
Good
so
hope
much,
you're doing
sweetheart.
great, man. Continue, Mark.
Yeah, and thank you. Yeah, and so that for me as a young kid growing up, I think that Gene's vision of a hopeful future, which is why I'm so sick of this dystopian stuff, especially in the stuff they're putting out now. It's you want to have that future, and yeah, you can have your sci-fi future. You have stories within that framework, but I didn't notice that until then. You look at it years later, like, okay, when you're an adult and you can understand those kind of things more. In terms of you're a young kid, you don't know anything about really. About the wider world and how people can be cruel to other people per se, especially if your family is not like that and you're not taught that crap. So for
Thanks
me
again.
It was another super
Cardi,
chat.
thank you again. You're too kind, buddy.
That's
Thank you
so
much,
generous
man.
and so thoughtful and so sweet. Thank you so much, Cardinal Sin.
Thank you, sir. It's good to see
Thank
you,
you
but I
for
can't
that,
see
yep.
I was trying to get over where I could see the sticker.
Number one, it says thank you. Two thank
there we
yous.
go. Thank you. And thank you, sir.
Yep.
No, thank you. And there's the bots.
There's the bots there. They got nuked. Yep. Thank you for nuking them, Kel.
Appreciate you, Cal.
But
yeah, so speed.
And 6 just popped in. So you want to read
6.
that, Clobbering?
Where? I didn't see it.
With the super
6.
chat. Super chat.
I can't see it. My StreamYards must be
Hello, baby.
It's coming up. Thank you.
$20.
For that,
that
20
is so
smackerels.
generous.
Oh my God, you're too kind.
Thanks, sweetheart. How you been?
Hello, my friends. You'll be happy to know I made the announcement tonight about the memberships, which will start a week from tonight.
Yeah, and it's all thanks to 6.
Yep,
she kept nudging you.
She helped me. She helped me harass Clobby because 6 is the best.
Well, I finally took your advice, 6. I mean, it starts. I'm starting it like a week from
yeah, we're gonna get it done
tonight. So, thank you so much for that. You were too kind, 6. Very generous of you, my dear. It was wonderful to see you. I hope you're doing well.
Oh, so yeah, let me get back to my. What was I saying?
Sorry, man.
No, let's go. All good. No, those are great interruptions. Yep. But no, what I was trying to say is that you realize years later, as an adult, you always interpret shows differently or experience them differently as a kid versus an adult. So then you could see what it means. And, we always talk about representation and things like that. And back then, my God, that was so groundbreaking to have her on that bridge, and of course the interracial kiss. So you got to view it in the context of the times as well. So
Larry, what have you done?
Wowzers.
Larry, 50 smackers. Holy Kawasaki.
My thing's going slow. Oh my goodness. Larry, you were too kind, man. I mean, Larry. Larry. Too generous, man. Thank you so much, dude. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank
That's
you,
incredibly generous.
You are too kind. I don't know what to say, man. You just
Thank
like
you,
to embarrass
Larry.
me. Well, I really appreciate that, buddy. Thank you so much, man.
See, Clobbering Times hates getting that stuff. So everyone keep making Clobbering Times more embarrassed and upset.
Yeah. No,
I know.
I just
teasing
appreciate everything. I know.
Yeah.
And when the memberships,
nice.
like I said, as I said at the outset of the show, when the memberships start, only Christina Hendricks is going to be allowed to.
Well, 6 can be
him.
the first. 6 has got to be able to be the first member because she was the one that kept telling you where's the membership, right?
Or at least
So-
the sixth, or at least the sixth member.
or the sixth
If I
one.
get,
Yep.
yeah, like I'm gonna get 6 members. You said
Oh,
member.
you underestimate, and that
Said
people
member.
want to help you support your
Yeah.
virtual comic
Yeah.
book shop.
At least a virtual comic shop because doesn't have any
Aw.
comics in it.
Pleasant Valley Picker, you do not have to
Hey,
super
you don't
chat.
have to super. Don't worry about that ever. No one. Look, when people do it, I'm embarrassed in the sense because I mean I'm not good at accepting things, but I appreciate it. It does my heart good, and I'm probably in the same boat you're in there, Pleasant. So, dude, look, you're here. You're giving me something. You're giving a super chat when you do that one.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. I mean, like I say, obviously when we're going strong talking about stuff, or I have topics going and stuff to stop and get all of the chats out there, but when but we appreciate you being here.
Yep.
So thank you so much.
Yep.
And I keep interrupting you.
Well, no, I'm going to keep talking about her, and I keep getting super chats, and so I can't finish. So where was I? I think I was saying. And the one other thing to mention too is, and you said it also, Raquel. She helped to recruit for NASA and bring minorities and women, and she inspired a lot, and she inspired guys too, and everyone of all stripes got inspired by the cast of Star Trek, but especially her, the recruiting she did for NASA to recruit minority astronauts is really well deserved. And you do need that kind of stuff too, where you tell people, hey, you can do it too. Everyone can do it, and don't let anything hold you back. I always talk about my dad all the time, but once I mentioned he came to this country not speaking a word of English and started his own business, was able to do it. And if he'd listened to a lot of people said, no, that's not going to work, that's not going to sell, or your idea is crap, he didn't listen to him when he went for it, and he became a success. So that's the kind of thing that I love to see. Someone like Nichelle Nichols, who inspired people and told people they can do it, and not enough of this negativity and things saying that everyone, you don't have a fair shot, or you can't. Things in life are unfair, but you gotta work through it and try to make the best of things. And I just love that optimism that she had, and Star Trek back then had, and unfortunately we don't see much of that anymore. And a lot of our entertainment is very dystopian. And once in a while, some of that stuff is okay, like Batman, Dark Knight Returns, was okay for that book, but now everything has become that. So that's I'd like a return to that hopeful science fiction and storytellers and IP that we don't get that often. I think that's why people love the Orville, excuse me, for the first 2 seasons so much, because it reminded them of the best of Next Generation. So it's a real loss to have her pass away. It's the end of an era. We've only got 3 original cast members left, and
Sad.
it's sad. And
Wagner,
of course,
take it easy, Wagner.
Yeah, may I please
night,
interrupt
Wagner.
just to say goodnight to Wagner?
Wag.
Wagner!
that woke
Thank you for
everyone
being
up.
Yes.
He's not gonna be able to go to sleep now. Yeah.
Night, hon. Anyway, you were saying, Mark, only 3 cast members left.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's very, very sad. As much as I love Star Trek, I know you guys love Star Trek, and it's does it affect me personally? No, but it's just a bummer to, it's just makes you sad to know that person was passed away. And hopefully, if you believe in God, don't believe in God, but as I always joke with my my buddies, well, we'll find out in the end. Either way, right? Either I'm wrong or you're right, whatever. But it doesn't matter. You should always be a good person. But that's a different
if
subject
there's a
now.
heaven, if there's a great perhaps,
Yep.
definitely Nichelle is in the good part of the great perhaps.
Yep.
And she's just marvelous. It's funny because when you hear, like when I hear a lot of the American coverage, they're always saying, that she was a visible minority. She was a woman of color on this show. She's a person of color on this show. That she was a Black woman who wasn't in a stereotypical role at the time. And it's so funny because as like a Canadian kid in the 1970s, I never saw her that way. I didn't understand those types, that type of politics, that all that kind of stuff was beyond me. For me, I just looked at her and I was like, this is a woman. This is a girl. This girl, she's an astronaut. She's an engineer. She's in charge. And these men, they count on her. And so for me, it was just like, oh, okay, so like a girl can do that too. And so it's funny the intersections in which people come at different.
Sorry
characters.
to interrupt. We've got a super chat. We did it again.
Balamy's minion and
Oh my
Pupper. Thank you so much, dear. You're too kind. She says, thanks for your content. RM, I love your outlook. Mark, I am loving your toys.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much,
Thank you for that.
Balamy. You were too kind. And we have a super chat from our buddy Gil.
Oh, Cardi.
Says, it says, $4.99 super chat. Thank you so much. You're too kind, buddy. He says, I agree entirely. Even Enterprise, which was real Star Trek, got pretty dark. And if there is in heaven, Nichelle Nichols will certainly go there. Absolutely.
Right?
Gil, I actually love Enterprise. It had some dark ones, but it still had the same optimism and hope as real Trek. So I hear you, Ed.
Mm-hmm.
I could not agree more. Nichelle Nichols will definitely be a bright light there. If you know.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, buddy.
For little girls everywhere. And
You're too kind.
Yeah, little girls everywhere, for men everywhere, for women of color, for people of color, for anyone who's ever wanted to achieve. Especially, it's such a small window of excellence to be an American astronaut. That is such a small window of excellence. And I'm so glad that she occupied that space. I love her. Oh, Larry.
Thank you, Larry.
Oh, my goodness.
199 super sticker. I'm going to try to see if I can. Can you see
It's a huge thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up right back at you, brother. Thank you too much, Larry. Appreciate you, buddy.
And that's my original Migo from 1974.
Oh, hang on a second.
So that was sorry. So I had that was my sister claimed that was hers, but I stole it from her. So I bought her another one years later. But that was the only doll /
You
action
100%
figure
did steal it from her.
I did, yeah, I did. So I just gave her I got new boots for her. So I got new boots for her and a new emblem because those had gotten worn out over time, or her boots were lost. So I refurbished her. But yes, that's a that's from the 70s. So that's and so for a young kid, you had very unusual to have a quote unquote female character that you could actually have, in the bridge place. That's what I had my buddy had the bridge, Enterprise Migo bridge, which was like the holy grail to have that set. And you go in the transporter, you'd go on adventures, you had the walkie-talkies, and so that was, but like you said, you didn't think about it. Like, people always say, well, that be your last Battlefield was so over the top. And it's like, no, as a kid watching it until the last line, until they say, well, don't you realize he's white on the left side, not the right side? The character, I'm like, I didn't notice it watching the episode, right? And that's the whole point of it was so ridiculous. Racism is so ridiculous that you wouldn't notice the hatred just because of the color of their skin on each side of their body. It was different, different sides, and that was the whole point of it. So, and then if you're not paying attention, shouldn't say not paying attention, but you're not focused on that, and that's, I think, that was the whole point of that episode. And they say, oh, that was so obvious. Yeah, tell me, you caught that the first time you watched that. Well, Raquel would have caught it, obviously, but I never caught it, right?
Sorry,
I didn't catch it as a kid.
Cardinal Sin again.
Oh, thank you again, Cardinal Sin.
Another gift.
Thank you so much, buddy. I appreciate that. He says, Nichelle Nichols was my first crush, as I imagine she was for many young boys and girls. She was a foxy, and she knew how to get the job done.
Yeah,
absolutely. She was beautiful. She was competent, more than competent. She was brilliant. And yes, I'm sure a lot of us young fellers certainly appreciated her for that
I
as
love
well.
what Larry said too, that her real name was Grace.
Yes.
And of course, Nichelle Nichols was her stage name. And I love that Larry said, if I ever had a daughter, Grace would be her name. What a wonderful
Oh,
tribute. I mean, this is the kind of
nice.
love and hope that Nichelle Nichols inspires. So I
Yeah.
love hearing this kind of stuff. Larry, Cardinal Sin. I love you
Absolutely.
all so much. Such great comments tonight. And thank you again. I have to say thank you again to Apollome's Minion. Yeah,
Thank
that's
you so much,
incredibly kind of
Apollo.
you to say. Thank you so
Thank you for
much for
that. Yep.
that.
Yes, thank you, Apollo. You're too kind. Very
And,
sweet, wonderful lady. And I hope
and
you're
it,
being safe on the road out there.
thank you for that. Yep.
Yeah.
And as I said too, she had such a great presence too. She didn't have that many lines, but she meant business too. And that episode of Mirror Mirror where she's able to pivot and give Sulu the the bad, that whole line there.
Oh, that was
Those
great.
were some
Yeah.
of her best lines when, and those are those hallmark figures that are ornaments that Claude has as well. So if you push the button, they talk to each other, and then you probably can't hear it if I push the button now, but they talk to each other and interact. So it's that whole line from the episode. It's just so it's just so well done, and she's just the delivery on that is just so amazing. It's just wonderful. So
Isn't
she
it
always had
weird
a great presence.
isn't it weird that adults say, sorry to interrupt, isn't it weird that adults say that she had so few lines? But when we were growing up watching this show, like she was omnipresent. Like she was
Yeah, she was there. Yep.
there, and it was just um like people like Denise Crosby, like she said, she didn't want to be on Star Trek because she didn't want to stand behind a block of wood saying "I Captain" for the rest of her
Yeah.
life. It's so funny how
Oh, boo-hoo.
how she missed the whole point. And because when I was growing up and I was watching Star Trek in the 70s and the 80s, all I would think about was like the world beyond that. And maybe it's because I had a fertile imagination because I was a reader and I eventually became a writer. But I always pushed past her world because she had an entire world beyond the show. Does that make sense? Sometimes a
Sure.
writer is so
Yeah.
good at creating a world that you just imagine her being in charge doing everything. Like I imagined them all, their whole lives happened inside of my head because it was such a great story being told so well. It came to life for me. So when people say, oh, she had a few lines but delivered them in a compelling way, or she didn't have very many lines, but the lines she did have were delivered so expertly, and that she was such a great and huge presence, and she did such a big thing with such a small role, and they say those things. I mean, I understand it as an adult. I'm not saying it's not true, but just for me, living in the moment, in that socio-historical context, in the age that I was in what else was on TV at the time, I have to honestly say, I never felt like that. I felt like she was larger than life. To me, she was as big as Kirk. Anybody who stood on that bridge was like this big star to me, and
Oh
they
yeah,
had a
that's what I was
whole
trying to get.
imaginary
Yeah.
life. Anyway, yeah.
No, that's a great
Yeah.
great point. That and she was always so distinguished and serious and you believe very believable character. So yeah, I'll press the button. Let's see.
Hey, chasing 80s toys.
Hey,
Oh
Hello
yeah,
there.
how's it going?
How's
Good
it
to see you.
going?
Welcome.
Let's hear some Uhura. Yeah. Oh, sorry, Uhura, knocked you over there.
She fell down.
She fell down. Yeah, I got to get one of those
Doing
stands.
what?
Yeah.
Oh,
You aren't very persistent, Mr. Zulu. The game has rules. You're ignoring them. I protest, and
You
you
come
come
back.
back. You didn't come
Back.
I was getting
Getting
bored.
bored.
Of course, this isn't
Aw.
the time. I'm afraid I changed my mind.
Again. I love it.
It's great.
She was wonderful on West. My favorite episode, of course.
Still no interest, Uhura. I could change your mind. You are away from your books, mister. You aren't very persistent, Mr. Cyril. The game has rules.
It's playing it again, but yeah. But just that delivery is just so wonderful.
It's amazing, yeah. And that I hated him with that creepy scar. I'm like, Sula's not creepy. Why is Sula so creepy?
Yeah. Well, it's a mirror universe, though.
Yeah, it was a mirror universe. I know. But when you're a kid, you know.
Oh well, yeah. Oh yeah. No, I understand.
Oh, Apollome's minion is in New Mexico. It's hot down there.
Oh,
it's hot.
Yep.
Yowzer. Well, it's it's kind of weird. We the whole country and everyone's talking about these heat waves and stuff going on, and it's very mild here by comparison. I guess we're just so
what is it?
Though
90s for you?
Right now, it's we've been having a lot of rain and stuff. It's 73 degrees. It's unreal.
Wow.
That's unreal for August, even at night.
For you, yeah.
And even in the daytime, we get our some of our usual stuff, but it's mild by comparison. Luckily, we've been getting a lot of rain, but nothing too bad, so it's keeping it fairly cool. But I'm like, wow, it's almost feeling like a fairly mild summer by comparison by our standards. But I keep hearing them talking about how bad it is up there. Everywhere went, wow, man, it's strange.
It was the 90s today for
us. The weather decide to give us like a break and beat up everybody else for a change? I don't know.
I guess so, yeah. Oh, and Raquel, you'll enjoy this. So I got a new shirt for Mr. Spock. Finally put that on. See, so I don't know, the lighting's not the best there, but so he's got a new shirt.
No, but you can tell that it's better.
It's better, yeah.
It's better.
So
the other shirt was
the old shirt. Well, he was well played with.
It's true.
And Kirk got a new shirt, but this is really a form-fitting shirt. So I put this on Sunday Night Geek. Look how tight that is. Look at those abs.
It should be tight. He's wearing a girdle. You have to take advantage of the girdle. Think, Mark. Think.
So this is much tighter than the other shirt. So.
Well, if you're gonna wear a girdle, you get to wear the tight shirt.
Wowzer.
So these are from the 70s. You have to so much we love these shows and still have the toy. And here's Scotty. Yep.
Hey, Scotty.
Yep. So we got the whole.
Nice.
You got to order him a new shirt.
His shirt's not too bad, but maybe I'll get him a new
pink. Shirt. Get rid of that. Give him a new shirt.
Compared to her, yeah.
No, it's not great. Yeah.
Now it is. Yeah. You're right though. Well, this lighting, it's one of these LED lights. But
get Scotty a new shirt.
This shirt was the best out of all the originals. So you can never have too many Mego toys, right? So I figure probably would love to see those again. But you keep showing those.
Larry says, "Ouch!"
Ouchers.
And Apollome's minion answered you, Mark. She said it's 87 degrees.
87.
Is that all?
Wow, that's pretty hot. Well, I mean that for this time of night though, that's pretty hot, right?
Yeah. Well,
I guess it's okay, but it's a dry heat, as they always say. Right. I was so tired today in the 90s, and it's just so humid. And I was riding a motorcycle today. At least when you ride the motorcycle, it's cools you off a little bit until you stop. But it's hot.
Chasing 80s toys. That's very nice of you to say. Yeah, I've always felt that way. That when you're creating the world of pretend, I think that a lot of people don't realize that the world of pretend becomes this place that you go in your mind. It's a place you go in your heart and in your mind. And so while people in Hollywood and actors and directors and people worry about how many lines people have to deliver and who gets what lines and how often they speak, I don't think they realize we don't think about that stuff. If the story is compelling, the story is well wrought, if it's well acted, you are so immersed in it that it becomes so realistic to you, especially when you're young. You're not thinking about that at all. You're thinking, oh, look at her. She's over there busy. Look at what she's doing. She's controlling all the communications on the ship. Look at she just rewired that panel. You're not thinking how many words she spoke. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're all heroes. They're all heroes. They're all astronauts. Anyone on the bridge is powerful and cool.
Absolutely.
Well said. Well said.
Oh,
Yep.
thank you so much, Cardinal Sin, for the $1.99.
Hey,
Chat
thank you, Cody.
Captain Kirk with his shirt ripped clean off.
Yeah.
But wait a
that
minute,
would
you gotta
be
give a lot more money for if I'm gonna rip that brand
shore
new
leave.
shirt off.
Hey, you should have got another
He wants to see
shirt
you
and
fight
ripped it.
Finnegan.
Yeah,
He wants to see you do a shore leave thingy with it, I guess.
we do.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I want to see that too. I'm agreeing with Cardi.
Yeah, all right. Scotty needs a new shirt. All right, all right. Well, let me get the old shirts just to show you how bad they were. Hold on.
Now everyone at home will see what I was complaining about. He showed them to Clobby and I one night, and Clobby and I were like, what's up with the shirt, dude?
Yeah.
They were terrible.
Yeah, with the shirt ripped clean off. Well, he could
Yeah.
do that with the other shirt though. He still got it, I'm sure. So, yeah, he could like when the fight when shore leave with Finnegan, and in Miri, there were a couple times they had his shirt ripped up. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. Quite a few times there it happens as it happens. Oh my goodness.
Here he comes. He's back.
Uh-oh.
So
There's
that's
the
the
old
old
shirt.
one? That's the one that you should Finnegan.
Oh, that's an original from 1974. That's a
Yeah, you
collector's
know,
item.
Oh, okay. Well, then don't do it
Hey,
to
that's
that
the
one.
other
See,
one.
I'm not a geek.
I
I
know.
don't know. But you need one Finnegan rip or Miri rip. Right? Look at how worn in that is. That's
Yeah.
hysterical.
Yeah. Played with that as a kid probably every day. For a couple
BC
of years.
says they should sell a pre-ripped shirt for Kirk. I agree. Pleasant Valley Picker.
Maybe they do. Just kidding, they don't.
So actually, I put Spock. I washed the Spock shirt.
Washed it.
Took it to get it washed.
Oh my goodness, Cardinal Sim.
Cardi.
Oh my goodness.
For a 1999 super chat. You're too kind, buddy. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it, sir. He says, according to Harlan Ellison, when he finished the script for The City of Angels Forever, William Shatner came over on his motorcycle and was counting the number of lines
Yes.
Kirk had versus Spock. It was a real mind flip.
It's true. I've heard
Wow.
I've heard the same things, and I've read it in a few
Wow.
places.
Thank you, Cardinal.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever heard that one before. Wow. Cool. Yeah, I can believe it. Shatner's worried about the lines he gets.
Mhm.
That's an actor. It wouldn't surprise me for an actor to be like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
That's something.
How many lines did I get tonight? Just kidding.
Right?
You'll have to come back and count them later, won't you?
Yeah.
More than me. That's what
Yeah.
you're complaining about.
Probably, yeah. Yeah, keep blathering on.
Yeah, you blatherer.
Blather.
Is that a word? No, it
Yes.
It is a word now.
It is.
I like making up words, so I hope it's not. No, it is. Blatherer. And Charlie X has had his entire
did.
shirt. So his entire shirt off. Yes, he did.
Yeah, in the gym.
In the
Yep.
gym, of course. That is someone ripped off though. He had it off.
When he was tossing around
Yeah.
Charlie X.
He's had it off in a lot of them. He had his shirt off in the Corvette maneuver. He had it off in a few of them, like was it Deadly Years? I mean, yeah, he just takes his shirt off all the time. He's Kirk.
Gamesters of Triskelion.
And then of course that great joke in yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yep, it's good. Another that great joke. That great joke in Galaxy Class. I see you managed to get your shut off.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That'd be a fun watch party, that movie. Oh, it's so
Yeah,
good.
Nurat Anaximanda Bear says, leave it to the actors to count the lines. Yeah, and that's a very common thing, but I just think it's funny that because they have such a powerful voice in popular culture, that becomes the dominating narrative. And I don't think they realize, like a lot of actors realize, that what an impact even their presence on screen has when you get up to the business of doing science fiction, when the viewer is imagining the importance of every button, every lever, every dial, every screen,
that is in front of the astronaut on this, spaceship, especially in the 70s when we had a completely different conceptualization of what going into space truly meant. So yeah, it's what they think and what they feel and what they see is totally different than what we think and what we feel and what we see. We're in the if it's done well, we're in the pretend world 100%.
Yep, that's true, Pleasantville. Because we've left one out, Patterns of Force. Yeah, we'll probably leave a few of them out, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, quite a few of them. Yeah.
Let's rewatch them all and make a
them all
note
right now.
every time Kirk has his shirt off. Yep.
Or ripped.
Or ripped. Yep.
Doesn't he get it ripped when he's
gets
fighting
ripped a lot.
on the alternative factor as well?
Probably. And I know McCoy
grabs him by the
his
scruff
beard
of the
is very
neck.
dangerous.
in Naked Time. McCoy ripped his sleeve off just so he could shoot him with a Triax compound.
Yeah.
When
That's true.
hypo, when he didn't need to do that, he could did
right.
it through everybody else's shirt.
He could do it right through the
he
shirt
ripped Kirk's shirt off.
because he wanted to show some biceps.
Just wanted to be maybe that was his way of showing the way it affects him. I love that scene. That's so unnecessary, but it was so great.
Objectifying men. This is good. I'm into it.
Sexist.
I'm very sexist.
Bunch of dang women are just a bunch of pigs. That's all.
It's true. True. Shameless.
Like
Shameless.
The way Kelly treated what's his face, Ed.
Oh, it was terrible.
You're useless. They're
Get out of here, Captain.
Nutella does the same thing.
Jokes are jokes.
She's like, "What you said was useless."
Oh, so I guess now I'm useless. Okay, I'm the captain. I'm gonna walk out of the room now.
It's just ridiculous. I can't handle it. Can't handle it.
Oh, you mean you never been sitting around with the girls making fun of how dumb us guys are? Come on, all women do that, don't they?
Nope.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding.
I want to recount, ladies. Don't you sit around with other women telling them what dumbasses we guys are. And we admit it, we are. So what the hell?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think women and men are equally stupid.
Well, I know that we're different. We all pick on each other. The point is,
We do.
I don't think there's anything wrong with the women sitting around talking about what dumbasses men are. Since men sit around talking about other things that they shouldn't talk about. So
It's
the
not
hell?
that I'm virtuous. That's not what I'm claiming at all. It's just that I don't really have much of an opportunity to do that sort of thing.
But
And it doesn't appeal to me. Like hanging out with the girls, going, "Oh, those guys." I'm not like one of those girls who fits in.
Cardinal Sin.
Again.
Thank you again.
Wow.
Boy, appreciate you, buddy, for the
Love you,
$4.99
Cardi.
super chat. Says Raquel just nailed it. Bonus points for Raquel. The culture of egos in Hollywood then and now is the same, even among superlative actors. Indeedishness, sir.
Yep.
Very, very true.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much. Is he hearing me now, or is he back a bit on the? Are you hearing me in real time there, Cardi? Or are you back a bit on the stream? Let me know. Just curious, because he may have been speaking to something we were saying earlier. But there's that scene. It just bolsters another point you've been making, Raquel, all this time about the season, where they were all sitting around drinking as usual. Every episode's got everybody getting drunk, and every freaking episode. They didn't do that in every episode of Star Trek, and it's not sent to hall. No. I mean, not that they didn't drink in Star Trek sometimes, but in every episode they sit around and get wasted.
Yeah, and you raise a good point, because even when you saw a lot of smoking of cigarettes and cigars, and you saw a lot of imbibing of alcohol in previous iterations of Star Trek, the thing is that people weren't inebriated. The thing that I find very strange about this episode, or not this episode, the thing that I find strange about the Orville is that they make a point every time to say outlandish things about alcohol and alcoholic consumption and about being inordinately inebriated, like to the point where, like Kelly was alluding tonight, that oh hey, you're the only sober person here, and that time that she said that they were going to drink like 3 2.6s or 3 40s of like 80 proof 90 proof booze, and like and meanwhile you would actually die. Like the guitar player from Def Leppard drank 1 2.6 by himself and died. Like
alcohol is processed by different people at different levels, and for a show that's trying to like demonstrate that it's going to be our cultural and our ethical and our moral guide, it sure sends some weird mixed signals, don't you think, Clobby? And the alcohol, I have to agree with you 100%. The messages being sent about alcohol through the Orville are weird.
I mean, it's fun. One thing when Scotty gets wasted and drinks, it's called too much scotch. You know, but this every episode they do this thing. This kind of crap. Now it's like, And by the way, though, thank you again, Cardinal Sin, for the 199 super chat.
He's not time traveling, boss.
Thank you, buddy. Oh, okay, you didn't have to pay to tell me that. I was just asking because. But thank you so much, buddy. Thank you. Were too generous, man. Thank you so much.
You know, my boss is retired and he never takes gifts. And so I just want to say to each and every single person who has sent a super chat tonight that I love you and I'm so grateful for you. And you make me so happy that you almost make me want to tear up. I just love that you are sending super chats to this hardworking, intelligent, caring man that I love so much. He definitely deserves it. I just love this space that he created for all of us. And tonight you have been so generous and so kind, each and every one of you. I love you all very, very much. Even though it makes my captain feel awkward. I love you.
Oh, awkward only because I don't like accepting things.
It's hard.
I'm not good at it this time, but I appreciate it. So the appreciation is definitely there. I'm so grateful.
That's
Thank
right.
you so much.
Yeah.
What was it? I had something.
Liquor.
Oh yeah.
No, it was something about. Oh man, it's gone now. But it was something to do with Trek. I think. I mean,
you were talking about Scotty and drinking.
Scotty was drinking.
Yeah.
Drinking.
Yeah.
Well, the thing I would say too, like last night, if you're doing a bachelorette party, that's fine to have the characters drinking, but it was just too much Kelly, and then you're waiting for them to do a plot thread with that, and they never did it. But they just was too much of a running.
Yes, Killel.
Yeah.
Yes, I think it was changed. Is that a second one of the same one? I hear you.
Well, that's another one.
Did you double up on that one, Cardinal?
He time traveled.
Oh my goodness!
You two places at once. Thank you, man. You didn't have to do that, buddy. But I hear you in real time. Maybe that's a mistake made by the YouTube or something. I don't want you to overdo it. But I mean,
well, it'd be great if as long as you didn't have to pay twice. That would be great if you YouTube doubled.
I hope it didn't double him. I mean, if he did it twice, is one thing. That's his decision. But I mean, I don't know. Weird. But thank you so much, Cardinal. And I'm glad you hear me.
Yeah, and now he sent a super chat where he's saying, like this is that's the message of the Orville. Let's get hammered, right?
Yeah, let's get hammered.
Yep.
I just don't want anyone to cut my leg off in the middle of the night. Please don't do that.
Did she say that? Isn't Cardi correct? Isn't that a direct quote? She said that?
Yes. And by the way, they didn't do it that much in the first couple of seasons. I mean, there were times once in a while where they would drink. I mean, normal. It was relatively normal. It's every damn episode now.
Yeah.
Every episode of the season, I think they were doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like last night made sense. Bachelorette party or bachelor party. Obviously,
the party. Yeah, the parties are one down. But they do it all the time.
They do it all the time, though. That's what I'm trying. Yeah.
And they point it out every single time. Clobby's right. They point it out every single time.
They make a big deal about it too. Let's get hammered indeed. Yeah, I mean, but whatever. I mean, the show's over, probably forever, and I never thought I would not give a crap about that. I was so happy. Oh man, I don't want to go back to the Orville.
It's done. Cool. It's done. Yep.
Yeah, screw it. We got Deep Space Nine still.
We do.
And there's a great episode coming up to start Saturday
don't start
night.
That up. Boy,
all-time classics.
Shin kicks.
Shall we do show notes and let everybody get out of here?
Yeah.
Sure, but Cardinals just sent you another gift.
I don't see it.
It's coming up the pipe.
It's coming up.
You got to see it way quicker than me. Oh, thank you again. Thank you. He said, and Clobby's heart grew 3 sizes that day. That's true. It's going to blow up.
Cardinal, I'll just be really honest with you. It's not that he has a small heart. He has a huge heart. It's just the problem is that and I'm going to speak like he's not here, but I have to do that. It's the fact that he always feels like somebody else is more deserving. He always feels like somebody else needs that money more than him because he's very manly and he's very caring.
and he's always thinking about other people before himself, and that's why it's so incredible when people send him super chats and support his channel and support this virtual comic book shop and support the work that he puts into the channel and the things he says and stuff. Because, you know, if it were up to him, he wouldn't take anything, and that would infuriate me. But he does it because he's loving and kind. And I think you're all great for making him take it. Yes, I love you all, 735ers. I love you. I love you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Oliver Belamonte, I absolutely concur. I love Star Trek 3. It's one of my favorite movies, no matter what anyone says. And as he says, it was an unforgettable moment in Star Trek 3 when Commander Uhura was holding a phaser, as he says to Mr. Adventure, the young lieutenant, "Have you lost all your sense of reality?" He says, "This isn't reality. This is fantasy. You want an adventure? How's this? The old adrenaline going? Yeah. Now get in the closet."
Get in the closet. I love that one. Get in the closet.
And then she's like, "I can handle things here. Like you're gonna be okay."
Handle
like,
that. Yeah. I'll have Mr. Adventure eating out of my hand, sir.
Yes. That's a great line. Great line.
I can quote every line from that movie because I saw it 15 times in the theater. And, you know, we're such jackasses. We used to do this with some movies. We brought an audio recorder and we would record it. And when we sit in the theater and record the audio and ride around listening to it.
You're such a geek.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Yep.
That's hysterical.
And Minimus was in on it.
Minimus was it. Minimus.
He went with me almost every time.
Really?
And he and another friend of mine that was 84 was fantastic for movies. We did that with a lot of movies. We saw Ghostbusters over 10 times together. We saw Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom almost 10 times probably. You know, there was a couple others we saw a lot. Buckaroo Banzai we only got to see twice because it didn't play long enough, but wanted to see that more. But Trek 3, I mean, there would be times, what do you want to do tonight? I don't know. Because we're geeks. We didn't drink. We didn't go out. We didn't do all that kind of crap. Didn't socialize.
What about the ladies? It took the ladies to see the movie?
No, we didn't. We're stupid ass geeks. What can I tell you? If we weren't sitting around watching Star Trek at one of our places, in the summer we'll go see Trek again. Yeah, let's go see Trek again. Let's go see it.
Let's go see it. And the movies are cheap back then, thankfully, too. So yeah.
I was 20 years old.
Yeah. So how much was a movie back then? Probably $3 or something. $4. Yeah.
$4. So
cost of a cup of coffee today.
Yeah.
Right?
Cardinal Sin, sending my love to you, sweetheart. And Urat says Buckaroo Banzai was so bizarre. No, Buckaroo Banzai is.
It was bizarre though.
But I think he means a bizarre in a good way.
Seen it
That's what I think Urat's saying. Yeah.
Raquel, have you seen that?
Yes.
I love that movie so much. It's one of my favorites, and it's weird. And I got another one that we love to quote too much. We walk around quoting from it all the time.
And he will return.
In fact,
right?
On my show many years ago, Minimus and Kim and I interviewed a fellow who was in that movie.
Oh, really?
Yep. He played. Oh my God! I'm forgetting his name. I'm mad at myself for forgetting his damn name. Claude's gonna.
Oh, the guy who you interviewed. Okay.
Yeah, he played Blue Blades Irregular, Cranky Carruthers. It was Oh, he didn't have a big part in the movie, but he was in it, and he was a well-known singer at the time back in the 80s. Don't do this to me. Monkey Jeebus!
Hey, Monkey Jeebus.
Minimus, wake up and tell me his name.
Oh, good. I'm glad you liked it in your rod.
God.
Yeah, I could tell from
he's right. It's bizarre to that.
Yeah, I could tell from from his text, just
Billy Vera.
Good bizarre.
Billy Vera, yeah. He was
the whole movie packed full of stars. Like it's packed.
Oh God, yeah. Well,
Jeff Goldblum, John Lithgow, Peter Weller.
Yeah.
Doc Brown is in it.
Christopher Lloyd.
Kurgan is in it.
It's also packed with some of the greatest opportunities for cosplay for men.
It was tough to get a soundtrack. I joined the Blue Blades Irregulars fan club when it came out. I got all that stuff from it, and it was tough. They took forever. They never put a soundtrack out, except like maybe in Japan or something. You had to get bootlegs. We wanted the soundtrack. We wanted all the stuff. We wanted a sequel. The novel, but by the guy who wrote the screenplay, also Earl MacRowell wrote a novel. It had a lot of extra stuff in there, but you couldn't get any other than the book. You couldn't get any kind of merch. That was the way it was back then. You didn't get a lot of merch and stuff anyway.
Yeah.
But it didn't play in the theaters more than a couple of weeks. It did not do well. It became really a cult classic.
Yes.
But I just love it.
It's an acquired taste, but I love it.
Didn't it end like Buckaroo Banzai will return?
Yeah, in Buckaroo Banzai against the World Crime League.
Yeah.
And it didn't. And that's why at the end of Free Enterprise, they got that thing after the credits says William Shatner will return and William Shatner against the World Crime League.
Yeah. Those are some of the best end credits ever in that movie.
Oh, yeah. Free Enterprise? Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah, it was hysterical. Yeah.
I still have to watch that.
We need for you to watch that. It is a need.
We should do that as a watch party.
Well,
together,
you know, Chris Persia gave me all that stuff to look up, and it's all on blackout in Canada. I can't watch it. I can't even get it on YouTube. All those shows that he told me. I don't know. I had them written down, and I searched them, and I couldn't watch them. But I'm going to write down Free Enterprise, and I'll look for it.
I know somebody might have it.
Someone might have it, yeah.
We know someone who has it.
I do.
Yeah. No, he does.
I do. I know someone. You're telling me I know someone. This is great.
Yes, someone.
we can't mention. We can fix that. Yep, we can work that one out. Yep.
I love you guys. You guys are the best.
Pleasant Valley, get me some pizza.
Going to get pizza. I love pizza.
I want
pizza.
Pizza.
I made homemade donairs for dinner.
Whaties?
What are those? Is that like an egg roll with just the shell of an egg roll? What?
Go to my Twitter. I put the pictures up. Okay. Go to my Twitter and show everyone the pictures. Can you do that now? Just show them what a donair is.
For it. Let's see.
Donair. Okay. Is this gonna make me hungry?
I don't know. No, I don't think so. Well, yeah, you can get a donair without the green stuff.
Green stuff. No, I'll make me some taquitos later.
Taquitos?
I could see CLOBBERIN going to a Chinese restaurant. I'd like an egg roll, but just the outside part.
No, I dig it out myself.
He digs it out himself.
I would never ask him to do that.
In it.
But also, again, they are kind enough to take the onions and all the other garbage out of there. I mean, the peas and carrots. Why is that in fried rice? It's wrong.
Fried rice.
Now, in fact, you know what? When you go to the buffet, they leave that crap in there, so I can't eat the fried rice. But when I order it out, they do that for me. It's weird. But if I order it out from place, they'll do that.
Wherever you go, there you are.
Yeah, the quote. Thank you so much for that. You were too kind. No matter where you go, there you are. And the whole line of it was, of course, when they were being mean to Penny Pretty, and she, hey,
yep,
don't be mean. We don't have to be mean. Remember, no matter where you go, there you are. Peter Weller was perfect in that. It's Buckaroo Banzai, the latest issue.
Are you going to show them the
donair? Click. You can click to show it.
The clicker's broken.
Your clicker's broken.
Oh, wow.
Well, there's too much green stuff right now. I can see.
And it's got tomatoes too.
That looks good though. Tomatoes. Is that Greek? Is that Greek?
Keep going. No, this is it like gyro. Yeah, but this is more of the Middle Eastern style.
Okay.
So you just roll it all up and eat it.
CLOBBERIN times would only eat the meat.
Yeah, he would like the meat and cheese and the sauce. He would love the meat, cheese, and the sauce.
Would you do tomatoes, CLOBBERIN times?
Hell no.
No tomatoes. No tomatoes for him.
I
know how to cook for him.
What might shock you? I actually do love salad.
I know you love
eat salad.
I just don't want it on there. But I mean,
he loves gourmet salad.
No, I love. We have this place called Salad Station here.
Yep.
But Jesus Christ, they charge by the pound. I'm out. You end up with a $13 salad when I go there because you get to put all this junk all over it. It's fantastic. But I like me a salad.
Yes, I know this.
Do you like putting chicken on salad or meat on salad?
Chicken, all
he
different
puts everything on his salad.
No, I don't. I don't put filth on it like that. Like those little
but he puts protein and all sorts of stuff on a salad.
Basically,
he actually eats salad.
And cheese. Basically, like chicken and cheese. They even put fried chicken on there.
Yeah.
Onions?
Hell no,
no, not onions.
Chicken.
I'm just asking. So definitely
and
no beans.
And bacon.
Definitely no bean sprouts. I can see
none of that crap. It's all there, but no way. My salad's fairly uncomplicated.
Oh, Nirot loves this. Wherever you go, there you are. He's like, this
no matter where you go, there you
line.
are. Actually, it's no matter where you go, there you are. But yeah,
it's a classic.
Yeah, need see Buckaroo Banzai in person. I love how all the all the Lectroids, their first name is John, no matter what.
Yes.
John Yaya, John
Yep.
Smallberries, John
That's
Parrot,
right.
John Many Jaws, John Warfin, John Parker.
But you
John,
have
John,
to
John.
laugh when you hear John Smallberries. I mean,
God.
every time I hear John Smallberries, I
John
laugh.
Smallberries.
Yeah.
John Yaya and John Smallberries.
Mhm.
And John Big Booty. That was the best. Christopher Lloyd
Big
was John
Booty.
Big Booty. They kept calling him
Yeah.
John Big Booty.
Yeah, yeah.
He says, it's Big Booty.
Big Booty and Smallberries.
And then they
And
had
you know
Big
what they're
Booty.
talking
And
about.
then you had, what's his name? John Lithgow was fantastic as John Warfin. One more word, John the Big Booty. Big Booty. Tay. And then he just shoots him. I love it.
Yeah.
Home.
Well, it's like most people in Haiti, their first name is Jean, and a lot of my Haitian friends, they go by their middle name, but they're mostly named Jean. So it's part of that. Everyone's got the same first name.
Thank you, Cardinal Synod, for another 199 super chat. He says, did he say gyro or gyro? Very
It's
Mediterranean.
gyro.
Gyro.
Yeah.
Very Mediterranean, very
that's an
tasty.
excellent pronunciation.
But
Even
here
I've
you
had
have to
one of
say
those.
gyro, otherwise
No,
you get
if you
laughed
say
at.
gyro, I'll slap you.
Yeah, but
I've had one of
I
those.
said hero in the restaurant. They get what are you talking about? They said it's a gyro.
No,
like,
it's not a gyro. A gyro is what
Gyro
you have
or
to go
gyro?
through in order to get into Nassau.
That's true.
Yeah, I guess. Do I want to order that from you if you can't pronounce
So you
it?
say gyro or gyro? Gyro.
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 Gyro. I've had one of those, believe it or not.
Good.
I like it when they have the meat hanging up and they cut the meat off the thing that's hanging there.
Yes.
Drop it on your plate. Is that Greek or is that Middle Eastern?
Well, there's a Greek version of it and there's a Middle Eastern version of it. And it really depends because, of course, with the gyro, you're going to have a lot of tomatoes and you're going to have a lot of onion, maybe not so much in the lettuce department. You're also going to have a great deal of feta cheese on it, and you're going to have tzatziki. You're not going to have a sweet sauce. And then, of course, in Middle Eastern cuisine, the bread is going to be different. So it'll be different than the Greek bread. And the meat is a little bit different. Of course, in Middle Eastern countries, they don't eat pork. And they have a sweet sauce that is made out of evaporated milk, condensed milk, sugar, and vinegar. And they pour that over top. And of course, there is lettuce, and they use an all-fat a mozzarella strip of cheese. So the Middle Eastern version and the Greek version are different.
I thought we weren't going to talk about food tonight.
You had to start with the food. We'll get down here. Let me start with let me do it. Let's do some show notes, my friends. Of course, the main show note again. Remember, all of August is Jack Kirby month, and I will be. And when we're not doing stuff like this, or we're not doing Star Trek, it'll be all Kirby wall to wall, because I always do it every August. But anyway, tomorrow morning, I will be on live 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. I will be on live with the great Stone Loki on his channel for reviewing with the gang there the season finale of the Orville. And then tomorrow night, I'll be on my great buddy Nick Weiser's channel, 32 Flavors of Nick Weiser, with the gang, D-Bud, Martin, Iron, Caster, and Pablo, and I. Along with Nick, we will be reviewing second chapter in our three-part series of reviewing Nova, The Man Called Nova, from the 1970s, a Bronze Age classic comic book review for the comic shop there. And it'll be 8 p.m. Central Time. And then Saturday night Star Trek, as always.
Dun, 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 dun.
What
Yay.
she said. Same Trek time, same Clubby channel, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, continuing our review of all of Real Trek, of course, the 735 Club 66 through 05. We are now on Deep Space Nine, and we have 4 more outstanding episodes for you. Don't say anything. So it's going to be great fun because we have such a wonderful time there. Mark, any closing words and anything you'd like to promote?
clam pizza rules, and
I'm muting you.
Mark.
Sunday Night Geek Rave will be usual time, 10 p.m. Eastern. So hopefully you can be there as usual, and we'll be talking all kinds of geek stuff. You know, we did the tribute to Nichelle Nichols last week, which was really nice to be able to get on YouTube and talk about how much she meant to us as Star Trek fans. So I don't know what we'll be talking about next week. Maybe we'll see what's happening in the news. Maybe there'll be definitely some Batgirl talk, I think, and maybe a little Flash talk. But interesting week in entertainment, and of course, Lord of the Rings is making news again. If you guys watched that, everyone clicked on that link. We don't want to play it because they're especially vicious with their IP. But yeah, just really amazing, and hopefully getting last week I had a few videos, so hopefully get some more videos coming out this week. The days, as you said, when you're streaming, the days time is short sometimes, and you have ambitions. You want to get some videos out. Excuse me, and they don't happen. Take a lot of work, yep. But but it's a lot of fun, and got to have a great time hanging out with you guys. Everyone in the chat tonight was hysterical and a lot of fun, and we didn't get that last great Orville episode, but we had a great time talking about it. So
Oh my goodness, Chasing 80s Toys. You're in Holland? You're in the Netherlands?
Oh,
you're
wow,
Dutch?
okay.
My mother-in-law is from the Netherlands, The Hague. And she moved to Canada when she was like a teenager, a pre-teenager, and she had to learn English. And so my husband's family is Dutch. I think it's totally cool that you're Dutch. I didn't know that. That's so cool. Welcome.
Oh yeah, always great to see you.
Can I just say this just really quickly? Sorry. You ready? Chasing 80s Toys. Designer binder, mijn nog niet helemaal. My Dutch is terrible. I'm sorry. But whenever I want to make my mother-in-law laugh, I sing that song to her in Dutch. She taught it to me, and it makes her laugh hysterically. So I know my Dutch is bad. That's a little children's rhyme. And I hope it gave you a laugh.
Indeed. Well, time for our goodbyes. I want to shout everyone out. Thank you so much for being here tonight. We're going to go through you and name everyone who was here because we appreciate you so much. J-Man, thank you, bro, for being here. I know you had to run probably. Gwagnar was here.
Gwagnar.
Indeedishness. Mark Lerseth was here. Thank you so much. The great Super One himself, Kal-El. Thanks for being here, buddy. We appreciate you. The great Chris Persia. And I believe Eric K was here earlier, right?
Yep. Eric K was here. Yep.
Our buddy Eric K is
Might
here.
Still
bro.
be here, maybe.
Love you guys.
Bronze Wrencher. Thank you for being here tonight, buddy. There he is. I had to put the chat. My chat's way to the back. So, the extraordinary, great, hungry boy, hungry for brevity, lost. Lost.
Also, the official artist of Clobberin Times.
If he accepts that challenge.
Yes.
Maddie's daddy, Steve Mitchum, was here.
Feel better.
Feel better, buddy. Get well soon, man. Hang on. Because I had to think this thing's backed up way back. Let's see here. Double C, thank you for being here tonight.
Yeah.
I'm sure Grim popped in.
Yeah,
Thank
cool
you.
name. Grim.
Oh yeah, I like it. Well,
Brothers Grimm.
You knew I'd like it. He's got one M on there. That's okay.
Oh, that's Ben Grimm then.
No,
right?
Big Grim's 2 M's.
Oh, yeah.
Wendy Webb. I believe Wendy had to run, but thank you so much, Wendy.
Cardinal Sid, he sent you a gift. He says, you mean the Rings of Power, not Lord of the Rings. You know what I call that show? I call it the Rings of, what is it? The Rings of Cringe and the Rings of Cheese. Also,
you can put it up there because I can't reach it.
The Rings of a Basement. Hold on. Let me put Cardi up. There you go, Cardi.
You mean the Rings of Power? Thank you very much, Cardi. Absolutely. Thanks, Gil. That's a bunch of garbage. We all know that for
Yeah,
sure.
did you see they put those
you,
Rings
buddy.
of Power covers on the Lord of the Rings books?
Ugh.
Ooh,
Gross.
It's Courtney was here. Courtney, lovely
Thank you,
to
Courtney.
see you. Thank you
Yep.
for being here. I think it's Wendy Webb already. Let's see here.
Good night.
And Jimmy.
Hang on. I know there's a lot more people here, so we've got to get this thing here.
big
Hang on,
crowd
hang on,
tonight.
Hang on. Yes, indeed. Great crowd tonight. Appreciate you all.
Yes, we do.
Let's see here. It takes me to get to. There are plenty more. Don't worry, everyone. I'm going to try to get everybody here. I need vamping music, I guess, because Dad Man popped in earlier. Buddy, Dad Man. I'm the Dad Man Clan. JT Kirk, buddy.
Night, JT.
Good to see you. Thanks for being here, man.
You should turn on the background music when you do that. You know, and
No.
stream
Oh,
right
yeah.
that's it.
No, I can
should
provide
actually.
music.
Go for it. Michael Beacom. I hope you and your wonderful Cassandra are doing well. Thank you for being here tonight. I think you had to run. You're at an axe, Amanda Bear. You really don't have to do that. Not necessary.
That was my bad idea. Sorry.
What's wrong with both of you? I'm going to mute you both.
We got in trouble.
We're drunk
no,
tonight,
no,
right?
I mean, you can do it. I mean, I'm just saying, you don't want to do it, because Mark's drunk, he got hammered by watching the Orville.
Yeah.
So funny.
And then Sandman is dropping tonight at 3 a.m. on Netflix.
What?
What?
Oh, God. That's going to be garbage. Ezra Goldstein, thank you for being here.
Good night, Ezra.
Indeedishness. Naradanax Amanda Bear, I think I said it, but we'll say it again just in case. Pop Culture Republic, thank you for being here. Larry, thank you so much for those wonderful contributions, and thank you so much just for being here, buddy. Thank you. Appreciate you, Larry. Boosh McFadden. Thank you. Let's see here. There you go. Tim's Talk.
Hey, congratulations on 700.
Congratulations on 700. Go subscribe to that
Nicely
channel,
done,
please. Give him some more.
Dun, 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 dun. Boosh, baby. Boosh,
The great
baby.
Andy Masterson was here tonight. Thank you so much.
Jamaica.
Snail Messiah.
Good night,
Thanks for being here,
Sam.
buddy. Pop Culture Curator was here. Thank you for being here. We'll see here. Take me a second to get to all these, but we have some more pop in. I'm determined to get them all. Palamise Minion and
The pepperoni.
bum 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 bum. Pleasant Valley Picker.
Good night, BC.
Let's see here. Yeah, Claude was here.
Minimus.
Yep.
Minimus was here. Zacharot. Hey, Zacharot and Oliver Belamonte. No, we're almost there, folks. Almost there. You don't like to leave anybody out. This is so much easier inside Star Trek because I'm about to start
You
writing
write
it
it
down.
down, right?
I need to start writing it down on the Clubhouse too, apparently. I'm too lazy. Your Old Toys.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
He's got a new channel.
New channel. Everyone check him out.
Check it out. Yep.
Subscribe.
Get your butts on over there.
Years and leaderness. Love Chat XYZ. Thank you so much for your support.
Yay! Thank you so much for putting all that crap in our chat.
Yes. Thank you, you bots.
Love Chat
Hey.
XYZ. Thank you for crapping in our chat.
Thank you for the wonderful super chat. Rough Girl. Love you. Thank you so much. You're too kind, my dear.
And Cardinal Sin. Holy mackerel. Cardinal Sin. Larry.
Thank you, Cardinal Sin. Yep.
Thank you so much.
Just
Cardinal
everyone.
Sin. Palamise Minion. All of you for the super chats. Thank you so much, Cardinal.
Yeah, and a Polymese minion and Larry, and everyone.
All
everyone
of you,
who
Larry,
participated.
all of you did that. Thank you all so much. You're too kind. Let's see here.
Hungry Boy's asking us no tripwire next week.
We'll see. If you really want me to stop doing it, I will. I mean,
No.
if he wants me to stop, I will. He's worth it.
He's worth it. He is worth it. Stephen M., you should blow your guns off. Pew, pew, pew. You got all of the bots tonight, as did Eric K.
Yes.
And Chris Persia. And I love you guys. Thank you so much for
Thank
your help.
you. The wonderful Six and that wonderful super chat. Thank you so much, Six. Love you. You were too kind.
Larry.
Beautiful.
Mwah.
Beautiful lady, 6'6". You're too kind. Again, Larry, thank you so much.
Yep.
I love Six.
I'm trying. I'm have the chat way back so I can get everybody. So I'm trying to get to the front. I promise. Chasing 80s toys. Thank you so much for being here with us tonight. Someone has been having this at the home. Oh, let's see. I think we might. Well, I always say that, and then we get somebody different, but let's just be sure. I think we probably. Oh man, it just jumped on me. I think Monkey Jeebus was here too. All right. Well, I think we're almost there, folks. Think we got everybody. I hope we did. Yeah, I think we did. But if we miss anyone, just write me a nasty comment or whatever.
Stephen M., yes, I would say that you got the bots faster than a speeding bullet.
You did indeedishness, sir. Thank you so much for that, Kal-El. You were too kind, buddy.
Kal-El, the real soup.
Real soups indeed. Well, everyone, thank you so much for that wonderful time we had with you tonight. You're just amazing. Thank you for all the super chats and all the chats in general, everyone who was here. And thank you, anyone who has been lurking or who was listening later on a rewatch. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate it. You're too kind. Please join us again. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a wonderful rest of your night. Please enjoy these important messages and then credits. Have a fantastic weekend. Good night,
Take care,
everybody.
everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you so much for that. Do we have another super chat there?
We did.
Thank you so much for that last super chat. 199 Cardinal Sin. Appreciate you, buddy. Says thanks for the great stream, gang. No, thank you, sir. Thank you for being here. You rock, buddy. Thank you all so much. Have a wonderful everything. crap.